For the Rabbitohs, MC has it, tackled 18 out from his own line by Mariota. Played to Brandon Smith, it goes right to Tallis Duncan. He scored 27 out from his own line. Now Brandon Smith, short side right to a running Humphreys. He beat one tackle, now claimed, 5 short of halfway, and he'll play the ball quickly to Brandon Smith. The cheese takes off from dummy half. He's put to the ground now by Smith. He's 9 metres in south in Canberra territory. On the last, Cody Walker, left foot kick, towering one, down the left wing of Tamale. He lost it behind him, regathered, but he's knocked it on, says referee Kennedy. He was right there on the spot. So a knock on against the Canberra Raiders. What an opportunity here for South. A scrum feed, 12 or 13 out from the Canberra Raiders goal line. 4.5 gone, no score, but a chance here for South Sydney.
Yeah, I thought that's a tough goal. He was facing backwards. I don't know if that actually goes forward. So yeah, I feel like he's facing his own in goal. The ball goes back towards his in goal, picks the ball up and continues. But that's a lucky call there for South Sydney. But they're going to be hard to hold out here because they're attacking this. That part of the field is really, really good by South, especially their left-hand side.
Can I dare to disagree with you? I think that was a knock on. Even though he's facing his own in goal area.
You can disagree?
The ball went forward.
That's what happened.
South goes to the left. We can disagree, but I'm wrong. David Fafita gets the offload away to Jai Gray. Back he comes open side right, and Liam Kennedy says, no, that's enough of an advantage, though. Inside the 10 Canberra. So a penalty, the first of the game, goes to South Sydney. After 5 minutes and 20 seconds, and they're going to pack a scrum, which is their option. 10 metres out, right in front, and remember, if Canberra gives away another infringement here, it will be a sin betting against one of their players. So they'll be under pressure to get things right. Jamie Humphreys waits for the word. He gets it. It's fed. Picked up at the base by Brandon Smith. Goes left to Jai Gray. He turns it into Fafita. Beats one into Smithies. Put to the ground with help from Starling and also Strange. Half a metre out from the goal line. He plays the ball now to Smith. Sends it open side right to Colin Matangi. The defence rushes up on him, headed by Mariota. 5 out from the line. South Sydney on the attack. Dummy half is Smith. He goes to the left to Jai Gray on the 10-metre line. Dummy's in. Steps away, comes back centre field, caught 8 metres out. Play the ball now to Mitchell. Long ball goes right to Murray, away to Tavita Totola, centre field. Caught 11 metres out from the goal line. South on the attack, looking for first point. Smith, he sends it right. Walker got it away to Tallis Duncan, close to the line, dragged down a metre or 2 out. Desperate defence coming there from Sanders. On the last, Walker goes left to Murray. He puts in a little dribble kick that Adam Mariota dives on. 8 out from the Canberra line. Great defence by the Raiders. 6 minutes 30 gone, no score. Did look a little of a confused set at times there from South Sydney though, Louis.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like they went away from what their set-up play to have their big play. But I'll be going to Latrell Mitchell. Just keep setting up that right edge, going to Latrell Mitchell. Here's a penalty now to Canberra Raiders coming out of their own end for a high shot. But Latrell Mitchell's going to be their danger man out there on that left edge.
First penalty for Canberra this afternoon. 25 out from their own line, 15 in from the far touch line. And it was Latrell Mitchell with a high tackle. Fafita had met the Canberra player Sasangi first of all, and now Canberra finds touch 5 short of halfway. Let's go down to the touch line. Michael Carianis.
Yeah, fair clip there by Latrell Mitchell and Simmons Sasangi, but yeah, that was a really poor set from South Sydney. They went left too many times, and just without the amount of space that they've been able to create in recent opportunities.
So now it's Canberra from the tap, 34 out from the South Sydney line. It's a pleasure to watch you work out this new little sound system here, Louis. You're doing beautifully. 24 metres out. They work it from right to left, Canberra. Smithies away to Mariota. He's going to be tackled 10 out from the south line. Great opportunity here for Canberra. No score. They're midway through the tackle count. Starling goes right. Sanders links up now. Goes through, hands away to Sasangi. He's felled 7 out from the line in the far corner. And in over the top came Cody Walker. Now it's Sanders on the last. Cross-field kick, short of the goal line. It's tapped back by Chris. Then it's put on the toe again by Strange. Getting back there, Campbell Graham, but he's in goal. And he's flung touch in goal by the winger Tamale. So they made the most of it there, the Canberra Raiders. Goal line dropout, South Sydney. 8 minutes 20 gone, Louis. No score.
Yeah, really nice kick there from Sanders. Gets the money, the ball on the money. Really nice anticipation there. I think it was from Sebastian Chris, who gets up nicely and just taps it back. And a good little bit quick thinking there from Hudson Young to get the little kick in. So nice repeat set here for the Canberra Raiders.
Latrell Mitchell with the short line drop out to our side of the field. Plenty of hang time. Tamale takes it 22 out from the South Sydney line and pushed back a metre or two. Maybe a little too far that time from Latrell, who is sometimes awful with the short line dropouts. That wasn't awful, but just a little bit too far. So Canberra has it. 18 now from the South Sydney line. The ball played now, and it comes to the right side, Mariota, after it was played by Hudson Young at Mariota's court. About 11 or 12 metres out from the goal line, standing in the Colomatungi tackle. Ball played to Starling. Short ball right, Tarpany beats the first man. Tarpany caught 5 out right in front of the goalpost. He'll play the ball now to Starling. Sends it away right to Sanders, away to Strange. Right foot step by Ethan. Put to the ground now by Gray. 4 out from the goal line. Canberra on the attack. Set restart here for the Canberra Raiders, who get within 1 metre of the goal line on the next play. Now it's played to Starling. Fires it away left. Sanders to Weeks. Got it on to Chris, and he's nailed 11 out. Defence from both sides. Really good so far. That was Jack White and ball and all. Starling goes right to Sanders. Back on the inside to Tarpany. Takes on White and Humphreys and Colomatungi, and caught only 4 metres out from the line. 10 gone, no score. Game 1 of the doubleheader. Now it's Starling. Goes right to Mariota, centre of the field. He started in place of Josh Papali'i, who'll come off the bench today for Canberra, and he's tackled 7 out. Starling goes left. Sanders away to Hudson Young. Caught 3 metres away. Last tackle Canberra. Played to Starling. Float took right to Sanders. Puts in a deft little kick. Following through is Hosking, but the ball is knocked over the dead ball line by Latrell Mitchell. It'll be a goal line drop out for South. 10.5 gone, no score. Back down to the touch line. Michael Carianis.
It came from nowhere. Latrell Mitchell was a great scramble for me, because it looked like Zach Hosking was going to win that chase, because Jai Gray was nowhere to be seen. But nice desperation from Latrell just to get his hands on the ball before the Raiders back rower.
So goal line drop out here for South Sydney. It's Latrell. This time he drives it. Low trajectory kick. Hudson Young gets a boot or deliberately kicks it back to his to the South Sydney 30, and now Hudson returns it. Caught 24 metres out. Around the grounds, Jersey Fleck first half, no score. West Tigers playing Newcastle. Queensland Cup underway. I'll give you those scores in a moment. It's Hosking on the right edge for Canberra. He's floored. 19 out from the goal line. 11 gone, no score. Canberra with it. Starling goes right to left. Tarpany linked up with support, and now going without the footy for the Canberra Raiders was Hudson Young. A rare mistake from Hudson Young, who's been in great form again at the start of this season. No score at South will gain plenty of confidence there, Luke Lewis, for holding out Canberra over 2 or 3 sets in a row.
Yeah, really good goal line defence there from the South Sydney Rabbitohs. There was no holes in the middle at all for Canberra Raiders. I really like what their middle did there. They worked really hard. They got up nice and quick. They held their line, and they shifted out nicely on the inside for their outside backs to make the right decisions out wide. But I reckon Canberra Raiders be kicking themselves there. Hudson Young went through. They had Kale Weeks pushing up on his left hip. There would have been try time there if they caught the ball. So that's an opportunity gone begging.
Souths win the scrum, and it comes left side to Johnston. He's caught 17 out from his own line. Queensland Cup, Northern Pride play Mackay. There's no score. While Tweed Seagulls have scored early to lead South Logan 4 points to 0. Souths on the far side of the field reach their own 30-metre line, and Jai Gray slow to his feet. He plays the ball now. Comes to the right. Walker. He got a ball away to Fafita, who's claimed 32 out from his own line. The AFL final quarter, and we've got Brisbane 86 leading North 66, and Essendon 75 leading Melbourne 58, as the Rabbitohs get within 10 of halfway. Super Rugby, Fiji and Drua in the Western Force, 7 all. A-League men first half, Auckland and Melbourne victory, no score. So now the Rabbitohs 3 short of halfway. It's played on the last by Totola to walk to Brandon Smith. Goes right to Humphreys, left foot end over end kick. Tamale takes it. A 9 out from his own goal line, returned it to the 20, and he's going to be caught standing the tackle now on the ground and lost the ball, but they went on with the job with a rake. So a penalty goes to Canberra. Very handy for them. 19 out from their own line. 13 minutes gone, no score. And don't forget, we'll get your text as well on 0467 920 222. Jai Gray looks in a bit of strife, Louis.
Yeah, he's definitely gone off the sideline on the other side of the field, and I've got a funny feeling it could be a rib, the way that he's holding his his side there, but I'm assuming Latrell Mitchell will probably end up moving back to fullback. But that was a silly play there from Cody Walker, just to give that penalty. It's actually Alex Johnson who's gone back to fullback.
He has at the moment. We'll check in with MC in a tick. There's Canberra with it 5 short of halfway. Ball played and it comes right to Adam Mariota. He's put to the ground on that halfway paint. 20 metres in from touch on the western side. Now they work it right to Smithies. He's caught 9 metres in South Sydney territory. Coming onto the field now for South Sydney as well is Lockie Hubner. So now it's the Raiders. 32 out from the goal line. Starling away to dummy half. He goes short side right to Sanders. Links up with Hosking. Hit and spin by Zach Hosking. Got the pass away. Now an intercept. Latrell Mitchell down the far touchline. Latrell rounded up, put to the ground. 6 metres short of halfway. Great anticipation from Latrell Mitchell. He plays the ball quickly to Johnston. Left to right, Walker to Fafita. And he scored 4 metres in Canberra territory. Let's get the latest down on the touchline with Michael Carianis.
Yeah, Jai Gray's shoulders come straight off. He's got that arm in a sling as he walks behind his own in-goal, and that's obviously forced a reshuffle. South Sydney still haven't got the message across to their side. They wanted Tallis Duncan to play left centre, but he hasn't got there yet. He's still on the right-hand side of the field, so they basically defended that last set with 12 men before they put Hubner on late, but yeah, mass confusion down here from the Rabbitohs.
All right, thank you, MC. Is now Colomatungi in centre field for South, taken in a 3-man tackle. 27 out from the Canberra line. Ball played on the last to Smith. Goes left to Walker. Puts in a stab kick behind Jed Stewart. He dives on the ball a metre or 2 out from his own goal line before he's caught by Walker and Humphries. And he does look in some distress, Jai Gray. He's just coming around from the dead ball line right now to our left. With the assistance of a trainer and that arm in a temporary sling.
Yeah, trapped up in his jersey, so something to do with either his shoulder or it could be his arm. Who knows? We won't know until Michael just asks him as he walks past him.
15 minutes gone, no score. I'm sure he will. Here's Canberra now with an offload away to Smithies. Puts his head down, gets to the 20, runs into Tallis Duncan and also Brandon Smith. Plays a 20 in from the near touch line to Starling. Goes right to Young. And in centre field, he's caught 30 metres out from his own line. You with Luke Lewis, Michael Carianis. I'm Andrew Moore on this special NRL Saturday. Clearing kick from Ethan Sanders. Not all that deep. Caught on the full by Campbell Graham. 24 out from his own line. Heads over the 30. Knocked to the ground. 12 metres short of halfway. 16 gone. We're still scoreless. Play to Humphries. Goes left to Johnston. He's tackled 8 metres short of halfway. He the score of 214 tries. Humphries dummy half. Gets right to Hubner. He's up to halfway. Caught by Starling and 2 other Raiders, including Sebastian Chris.
The moves happen now.
Tallis Duncan to the left.
Yeah, Tallis Duncan's gone over, and he got Latrell Mitchell gone to fullback. Alex Johnson back on the wing.
Back on the left wing. There's now South Sydney on the attack. It comes away left to Fafita again. Ball spews free. Not gone both ways, but it's deemed a forward pass from South Sydney. So Canberra will get the ball. 31 out from their own line. No score, 16 and a half gone. In terms of the weather down there, MC, I know it's a beautiful day and we're expecting a top of 30. Is it hot?
It's hot, definitely in the middle of the field as well. We've got a bit of shade where we're sitting and the bench is sitting, but on the field it would be very hot. Just confirmations to shoulder from Jai Gray. Walked past me and said the shoulder's still out.
Oh, yuck. Okay, thank you, Michael. Very dry heat in Perth, very different to Sydney or Brisbane. As now the Raiders win the scrum and they have it 32 metres out from their own line. Starling gets into dummy half. Jed Stewart plays it to him. It goes right to Adam Mariota. So how Ricky Stewart utilised this bench. I can see Noah Martin warming up in front of us. He's got Corey Horsburgh and Josh Papali'i among others. As the Raiders now, here's half a break made. And the tackle on Jed Stewart eventually just short of halfway. Plays it to Starling. Comes back open side left to Joe Tarpany. Caught 10 metres in South Sydney territory. Starling dummy half. Dummy short side right. Comes back to the left. Got it away to Ethan Sanders. He's knocked to the deck. 30 metres out from the goal line. Bringing up the last for Canberra. Played to Starling. He's got to pass it to somebody. He does to Sasangi. And he's going to be tackled very close. In fact, over that far touchline. Change over for South. 12 out from their own line. 18 minutes of scoreless footy here so far at Perth Stadium. The text line 0467 920 222. I hope the Raiders aren't applying their love for the comeback to the season as a whole, says Helen. Go the Storms. Storm, says Nim from Wollongong. Well done to Manly from Sharky at Swan Bay. 0467 920 222 is now South Sydney with the footy. 20 metres out from their own goal line.
Lost it.
And a lost ball picked up by Chris for Canberra. He plays it. It goes right to Mariota. So first play blunder by the Rabbitohs presents a great chance for Canberra to open the scoring. Mariota, 8 metres out from the line, plays the ball to Starling. He sends it right to Joe Tarpany on the angled run, but he's going to be caught by Brandon Smith and Fafita. 3 metres out from the goal line. In fact, he ends up getting over the line, but the referee, Lee Kennedy, had called held a few times. Played to Starling, now 2 out. Sanders to Hosking to his right. Knocked to the deck, beautiful tackle, Brandon Smith. 3 out from the goal line. Starling goes left to Tarpany again, turned his back on the defence, but 3 Rabbitohs hold him up 5 metres away. He'll play the ball to Starling. He sends a cut-out ball away to Strange. Beats one tackle, now fell only a metre out from the goal line. Last tackle, Canberra. Dummy half Starling puts in a little stab kick for Hudson Young. How often do we see that for Canberra? Hudson with an H is over to score. Deft little stab kick by Tom Starling. Hudson Young the try. 19 minutes 20 gone. Canberra 4. South Sydney 0. Luke Lewis.
Well, this looks way too easy for Canberra. And there was a really good read here from Hudson Young. And it was a beautiful executed kick there from Tom Starling. But I don't even know how he got it through. When Hudson Young goes through, he looks like he's already through the line. So this is absolutely brilliant work. Perfect timing. And I'll tell you what, it was Jack Whiten who actually sets that up for Hudson Young. He looks like he's going to come around for a really good carry. You got Jack Whiten who comes up and makes the decision for Tom Starling, and the bounce just works out nicely there for the Canberra Raiders. Beautiful try.
He kicked that perfectly, Starling, through Latrell Mitchell's legs, right between the wickets. Touchline, Michael Carianis.
Yeah, perfect bit of play there, and obviously news around South Sydney without their first choice fullback Jai Gray. Latrell Mitchell, who's obviously played lots of fullback in his time, wasn't caught up with the fact that they were going to go on that short side there, the Raiders. So nice bit of play and good reward for what's been a really impressive opening 20 minutes from the Canberra Raiders.
All right, MC will be Ethan Sanders with a conversion attempt. 22 metres out, 10 metres in from touch. Canberra 4, South Sydney 0. Check on scores around the grounds after the kick. Goes south, says David Nowra. I'm with Louis. Raiders in a close one. Andrew, listening to your Perth call, is it a double header out of Perth today? Yes, it is. Cronulla Sutherland against the Roosters next from 5:30 Australian Eastern Time. Here's Sanders, left foot kick. We haven't been confused by the time change at all, Louis, have we?
No, not at all.
10 in from touch. Sanders, he strikes it, heading towards the post. He likes it, he's kicked the goal. Canberra 6, South Sydney 0 here at Perth Stadium with 19 minutes and 17 seconds left in this first half. Now, around the grounds, and we've got Jersey flag action. West Tigers 10 leading Newcastle 0. In the New South Wales Cup, Newtown and the Roosters no score. Queensland Cup first half, still no score. Northern Pride v Mackay. Tweed Seagulls 8 lead South Logan 0, and there's no score early between Ipswich and Burleigh. Full time in the AFL, and Brisbane has beaten North Melbourne 92-66, while Essendon at three-quarter time well in control of Melbourne 81-59. Kick-off taken, and the return comes from Mariota. He's caught 12 out from his own goal line. Super Rugby, Fiji and Drew are now leading Western Force 19-7, and no score in the A-League men between Auckland and the Melbourne Victory across the ditch. So play 2 now for Canberra, 19 metres out from their own goal line as the ball's played there by Tarpany. Comes back towards the centre of the ground, 25 out from the Raiders line. Starling goes right to Smithies, and Morgan's caught just outside his own 30, 18 in from the far touch line. Played to Starling again, comes centre-field left to Tarpany. Ball pops out the back, a flick ball it was, away right to Hosking. He loses it in the tackle, knocked on by Strange. So they made a mess of that. Really, it was an ugly offload from Tarpany, and then Strange and Hosking could never recover. So South Sydney will get a scrum feed. 10 metres in Canberra's half, 21 and a half gone, 6-0 Canberra, and that's every team's nightmare, isn't it, Louis? You score points, you get on the board, and then you cough it up before you complete the next set.
Yeah, absolutely. You practice all year, especially in the pre-season, just to after you score points, you get down the other end, you get the ball, you kick deep down the corner and get your defence right and just build the game. But to make an error, only 30, 40 metres out from your own end and give the opportunity straight back to South Sydney, they'll be filthy.
Souths win the scrum, and Brandon Smith sends it from left to right. Comes to Whiten running off Mitchell, and he's scored 35 out from the Canberra line. So let's see if Souths can hit back. Play to Mitchell. He sends it left, and Hubner a good run. Caught 25 out from the Canberra line. Mariota was in over the top. It's play now to Brandon Smith. Short ball left to Murray. Quick hands to Walker. He ducked but can't beat Ethan Strange. He'll play it 24 out from the Raiders goal line to Brandon Smith. He sends it away left to David Fafita. Charges into the defensive tarp, and he stands in the tackle. 12 metres out from the line. 2 tackles left for the Rabbitohs. Brandon Smith to the right. Murray away to a juggling Humphreys. Tapped it on inside to Colomatangi. Goes without a penalty eventually for a rake against Canberra to South Sydney. Penalties 2-1 to the Raiders, and this is 9 metres out from the Canberra goal line. 17 left in the half. Canberra 6, South Sydney 0.
They just haven't got that fluency at the moment, do they, South Sydney? Canberra are getting up really quick and putting pressure on South Sydney's attack, and they don't really know what to do. They've got the right call there, but it's a big defensive set here now for the Canberra Raiders.
So Cam Murray from the restart goes left to Lockie Hubner. Tackle 5 out from the Canberra line. South's looking to level up, trailing at the moment 6 points to 0. Smith to the right, Murray. Hands it off on the inside, rather Humphreys on the inside to Colomatangi. Caught 4 metres out from the goal line. Now Smith goes left to Murray. Linked up there with Lachlan Hubner. He goes without it. Kyo Weeks comes away with it for Canberra. Accelerates on that far side before being dumped to the ground by Tallis Duncan. 16 out from the Canberra Raiders goal line. Now it's Asangi. He's put to the ground. 27 out from his own line as Canberra turns defence into attack. Played to Weeks. Sends it left away now. And shrugging in the tackle is Stewart. Finally, he loses the ball too. And it comes out for South Sydney. Play on, says the referee. And it works right to Humphreys. Both teams are really struggling to hold the footy here. 36 out from the Canberra line. Now it's played to Brandon Smith. Goes right to Jack Whiten. He darts from left to right and nearly beat them, but Tamale eventually swings him to the deck. 22 out for the goal line. Looks like Brandon Smith is coming off the field now, and Peter Marmazelis on. So his first stint lasts not quite 25 minutes. South, 19 out for the goal line. Hubner plays it to Marmazelis. Goes left to Murray, away to Walker to Mitchell. Quick hands away to Alex Johnston. Steps in field away from one. Then he bounced past. Picked up by Walker in the corner to score. Referee Kennedy points to the spot. Try to Cody Walker. Good work from Mitchell. Good work for Johnston. The finish from Cody Walker. And after almost 25 minutes, South head back. Canberra 6, Rabbitohs 4. Kick to come.
Well, Canberra, their own worst enemy, come up with a couple of errors, coming out of their own end. They give field position to South Sydney, and they're going to get it right eventually. And Cody Walker does a great job, goes into the line, plays out the back of Tallis Duncan. Quick hands. But then Alex Johnson, he do a great job. I thought he was going to go over the try-scoring king, and he comes up a really nice pass at the end just to keep the ball alive. And then a good support play there, and Cody Walker just pushing and waiting for an opportunity. The ball's on the ground, picks it up, dives over in the corner.
That was great.
That was really good work by all the South Sydney's left edge defence. Attack there. Brilliant.
And Michael Carianis, I reckon if you go back, 7-8 years, no team is as potent on that left side as South Sydney is.
Yeah, that's where they've made their mark for so long, and that's why Alex Johnson scored so many tries. This time, he set one up. He's not known for his physicality, Alex Johnson, but that was amazing strength there to shrug away a couple of defenders and stay upright, and then eventually lay on the pass for Cody Walker, who looped around, stayed alive, and got some reward.
So now the kick will come right on that far touchline. Latrell Mitchell moves in, he strikes it, and it's right across the face. He missed that by some way. So it remains Canberra in front. Canberra 6, South Sydney 4, 14 minutes left in the half. And a shout out to the number one Raiders supporter we know, Louis. Always wears the Canberra Raiders belt buckle.
Den Dog.
The Den Dog, Dennis Carnahan. He's always optimistic about his green machine. Apart from, 23 hours and 59 minutes of every day. I hope the Sharks win, says Dalen. 0467 920 222. Good afternoon, guys. Thanks for your coverage. It's first class. You may remember 3 weeks ago I said I was travelling down to Gosford for the Rabbitohs Tigers game. Loved it, except that they ran out of hot dogs prior to the main game and wondered why I hadn't attended a footy game in 25 years. Oh yes, no more North Sydney Bears, who my mum and I supported. She swapped over to the Rabbitohs but passed away 1 week before the 2014 grand final while I was overseas in Belfast. We'll be supporting the Perth Bears in her honour, but I can't see myself attending a home game more than once a year. Thanks again, guys, for your great calls. Keep the GSBs coming. Oh, what a great text. Thank you, Grant. Lovely memories about your mum. So it's South Sydney with it. 15 metres short of halfway. The ball played. It comes to the right. Mitchell away to Kolomatangi. Mitchell gone back to fullback with Jai Gray off in about the 15th minute with a shoulder injury as it's played to Latrell. He goes left to Humphreys. Then through hands. Comes back on the inside for Fafita, who's been very heavily involved again, David Fafita. Caught 10 metres inside Canberra's half. Bring up the last tackle. Marmazelis goes right to Humphreys. Left foot end over end kick down to the wing of Tamale. No, he dropped it, Tamale. Then regathered. Knocked back, says the referee, and that's certainly how it looked. 8 out from the Canberra line. 27 minutes gone. Canberra 6, South Sydney 4. And you just sense, Louis, the crowd starting to really get engaged. It's a magnificent look around Perth Stadium. There'd been 25,000 people in the house already, and they're just starting to get engaged in this first game of the day. As Canberra now cross their 20-metre line with his 2-point lead. Played to Weeks. He sends it away left side to Smithies. He's tackled 32 out from his own line. Plays it to Weeks. Goes to his right. Kick downfield from Ethan Strange on the last. Deep. Caught by Johnston. 13 out from his own line. Heads over the 20. Back to the 30. And he's going to be caught 31 out from his own line. 6-4 in favour of the Raiders.
Yeah, it's back in the arm wrestle at the moment. Both sides just getting through their sets. But I'll keep targeting Tamale with the high balls of South Sydney. He's struggled a couple of times. He's come up with a couple of errors coming over his own end. So a little bit down in confidence, Tamale.
Interchange for South. Tavita Totola off and Sean Kepi on. The Rabbitohs creep into Canberra territory. Marmazelis goes right to Humphreys, then away. It was an awful attempt to pass by Mitchell. Picked up by Canberra over the 30. The 20 goes to Marley. Over the 10. What have you done to Marley? He stopped running. He thought he was in the World Sevens in Hong Kong. He has got it down, but the defence, Walker and Graham, caught him, and there was a real struggle to ground the ball. He should have ground that easily to Marley. Nearly bombed the biggest bomb try in history. But it's been awarded. 11 minutes 20 to go in the half. Canberra 10, South Sydney 4 after a terrible mistake from South on halfway.
Well, it was really good pressure there from Sebastian Chris to come up and put pressure on Latrell Mitchell as he tries to tap the ball. And then all Tamale had to do was pick up the ball and run the length, which he did very well. But as he gets a half metre from the try line, he tries to stop and go back on the inside of Cody Walker and almost blows it. You got Ricky Stewart having a chat to him on the sideline now about just doing your job, run hard, run direct, don't overplay it. But that was a crazy play there from Tamale.
I think Ricky's telling him, do something like that again, my man, and you'll be walking across the Nullarbor. Time to the down to the touchline, Michael Cariana.
Yeah, very bizarre, but Tamale's probably had a mixed night as well. He dropped the bomb, he spilled the last one that went to him as well, so I think that's probably part of the conversation from Ricky, just to get a gauge of where his head's at, because he's fumbled a couple of bombs now and then, almost blew a certain try.
That was a little bit crazy. With the way you and I just looked at each other.
I've never seen anything like that.
I know. But he got the try.
He did.
10-4 to Canberra, 10 minutes 12 left in the first half, and Ethan Sanders, who landed his first shot to convert the Hudson Young try. There's pretty easy range here. 5 metres to the left of the post. To get Canberra out by 8. You can hear the hum of the crowd here at Perth Stadium. Here's Sanders now with the left boot. He strikes it and makes no mistake. He's 2 out of 2. Canberra 12, South Sydney 4, although that a fortuitous try for the Canberra Raiders. Around the grounds. And in Jersey Flag, which is the New South Wales Under-20s competition, West Tigers 12 lead Newcastle 4. New South Wales Cup. What about the start? It's the 90-year anniversary of the Newtown Jets. I'm sure they're celebrating at Henson today. And Newtown leads the Sydney Roosters 18-0. Queensland Cup first half, Mackay 4 leading Northern Pride 0. Tweed Seagulls 8 8, leading South Logan 4, and Ipswich first points against the Burleigh Bears to lead 6-0 as the kickoff goes deep into the in-goal area, and Canberra has it back now. And they lead here by 12 points to 4. In the AFL, Brisbane 92 defeated North 66, and Essendon 94 leading Melbourne 60 in the final quarter. Half-time in the rugby, Fijian Drua 19 leading Western 4-7. A-League men, Melbourne victory away leading Auckland 1-0. So now the Raiders, after getting that long-range try from an errant Latrell Mitchell pass, now it's Starling, goes right to Noah Martin. He's come onto the field and he's caught 13 metres short of halfway, 15 in from the far touchline, played to Starling, goes left to Horsburgh. Corey's out there now, and he stands in the tackle, 2 metres short of halfway of Hubner. And also Kepi now comes away to Strange, who's in a bit of trouble, gets a towering midfield roost downfield to Johnston, and great catch, Alex Johnston. Under heavy pressure, he's got it, and he's tackled 28 out from his own line. We've had 31 minutes. Canberra leads South 12-4. Dummy half is Walker. He sends it to the right side to Campbell Graham. He shoved back, stands in the tackle on his own 30-metre line, courtesy of Josh Papali'i. Played to Brandon Smith, goes right to Latrell Mitchell joining the line. He's tackled 13 metres short of halfway, played to Mamazella, sends it left to Sean Kepi. Kepi gets up to halfway, tackled maybe half a metre short of it, and 20 metres in from the far touch line. Mazellas goes right, Humphreys away to Cody Walker. Kalamatangi ran in front of him, so he runs around in ever-decreasing circles and tackled 3 metres in Canberra's half. Last tackle for South. Mazellas goes left to Mitchell. Up goes a towering kick. Not all that deep. Who wants it? Cam Murray does. He gets it and throws a forward pass. Intercepted by Noah Martin for Canberra. He's away over the 30, tackled 10 short of halfway. 8 minutes 10 left in the half. Canberra 12, South 4, and good field position again here for the Raiders as half a break made here by Strange. Left free in his wake, then put the pass back towards centre field. Comes left again to the second rower Hudson Young, and Young's caught centre of the park, 10 metres in South territory. Plays the ball now to Chris. He sends it left to Corey Horsburgh. He's wrapped up 34 out from the South Sydney line. Starling comes back to the right side of the field. Sanders turns it into Noah Martin, this very impressive young back rower. He's caught 27 away from the Bunnies line by Walker. Played to Starling, short side right to Strain, linked up with Sasangi. Dummies his way straight past Tallis Duncan. Gets the ball on his inside to Kyo Weeks. Great try for Canberra. Simi Sasangi gave Tallis Duncan a lesson out there. Tallis having to defend in the centres since Jai Gray left the field. Try to Kyo Weeks, and just like that, Canberra 16, South Sydney 4, kick to come, 7 minutes left in the first half. Luke Lewis.
He's been so good this year, Semi Sasangi, I reckon, for the Canberra Raiders out there on that right edge. But he gets the ball. He's such a strong carrier. He's got a really nice fend. Very deceiving on the way that he plays. Just gets a little bit of an out ball, a bit of a show and go to his outside man. And then you got Weeks who's pushing up on the inside. Betters his position, goes close to the goalpost there. Pretty close to the dead ball line there too. But that is a beautiful fend and beautiful work there by Semi Sasangi.
There's still something very exciting as a league fan watching a fend like that. And Semi Sasangi, who's normally a back rower, fends away from Tallis Duncan rather easily. Michael Carianis down to you on the touchline.
Yeah, then sets him up nicely. We saw Kyo Weeks and Simi Sasangi walking the streets last night alongside us as they enjoyed a late night stroll. Looks like that combination is building nicely. What about the Jai Gray error, boy? The Jai Gray injury. It's forced essentially 2 tries against it. One was Latrell Mitchell, who was playing fullback, chimed in the back line, threw an errant pass. Tamalo raced away and scored, and then as a result of Latrell Mitchell playing fullback, Tallis Duncan's playing left centre, and he just got burned on the outside by Simi Sasangi. So Jai Gray obviously recapping the shoulder dislocation and has had massive ramifications for South Sydney.
You know, he said we saw Simi Sasangi as Canberra went for a late night stroll. You know, that was about 7:30.
It felt very late for all of us, though.
It did. Here's the kick from Sanders, 13 metres out, 5 metres to the right of the post. I can't remember what you were doing at that time, Ollie.
I do.
Oh, that's right. You're talking to your mate Edgar. Here's the kick from Sanders right between the posts. So he's 3 out of 3. Canberra 18, South Sydney 4, with 6 minutes to go in the first half. Look, it was only 5 minutes ago. Canberra couldn't complete a set, and then that sort of error from Latrell Mitchell where he threw the ball away, intercepted by Tamale, and everything's changed.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, Canberra looking promising, right from the start of the kickoff, really. But they had that little part there where there's come a couple of little errors, gifting South Sydney an opportunity. But you're right, ever since that little tip on from Latrell, it's been all Canberra Raiders, but they're running harder. Their bench have come on and sort of taken the Canberra Raiders up a notch.
Well, that's the idea too. When you get in front and you can bring on Papali'i, Horsburgh and Martin, you must feel like you're in a pretty good spot. And now it's Papali'i playing. He comes right to Horsburgh, who slips over as he tried to step, regain his feet, and now tackled 21 out from his own line. Tex says not so hot tamale, Andrew. No, but again, he did score. Canberra on their own 30. Noah Martin plays it. It goes right to Sasangi. Another strong run. Caught 9 short of halfway. 20 in from the far touchline. Starling goes left to Horsburgh. I thought a good enough pass for Hosking, but he went without it. So now a knock on Canberra, and South Sydney breathe a sigh of relief. I tell you what, if Hosking caught that, he was away. Canberra 18, South Sydney 4. 5 minutes left in the first half, and I get the feeling Wayne Bennett will be very keen to get his team into half.
That was a really nice pass there from Corey Horsburgh. It was just Zach Hosking just couldn't get pull that ball in. You hit him on the chest and everything. It was absolutely flying through, and it would have been hard to stop the Canberra Raiders from scoring. But geez, that was a nice pass. Now they've got to defend their error.
It's almost too good. Souths win the scrum, and it goes left to Tallis Duncan. He's tackled 7 metres in Canberra territory by Sasangi and Strange, and Martin played to Marmazellis, goes right to Hubner. Horsburgh's there along with Hosking, 35 metres out from the line. Dummy half is Marmazellis, goes right to Murray to Humphries, nearly another intercept. Quick hands, goes down the right wing to Campbell Graham. Great covering tackle by Sanders. 11 out from the line, a metre in from touch. Play to Mitchell, fires a long ball to his left to Humphries. They're inside the 10 Canberra. They've got numbers left, Cody Walker, but they throw it away. So that will become instead a penalty to South Sydney for Canberra inside the 10. Initially, it was deemed a set restart, but because they ended up losing the footy, it turns into a penalty. It's 2 out in front of the left upright with, 3 minutes 49 to go in the half.
I wish it wasn't a penalty there, just a set restart, because I tell you what, it would have been a foot race down the other end of the field. It would have been interesting to see if Sammy Sasangi would have got there.
So the tap will be taken by Marmazellis. It was an ordinary bit of play there from Cody Walker, but they've got a chance here. It comes left to Kolomatangi from the tap. He's tackled 3 metres out from the Canberra line, with Canberra up 18 to 4. Marmazellis fires it away right to Humphries, turns it into Hubner, caught by Starling and Papali'i, 8 metres out from the Canberra line. Marmazellis from dummy half, works it left Murray, throws it away. It goes behind Tallis Duncan, and he loses it. Dived on by Jed Stewart. That's awful from South. And Canberra have it, 21 out from their own line, quickly played. It goes right to Sasangi. He's fell 15 short of halfway, 10 in from the far touchline by Duncan. Played to Weeks. He sends it left to Stewart. Jed's caught, 8 short of halfway, 3 minutes to go first half. Canberra 18, South Sydney 4, and the Rabbitohs really struggling at the moment. Canberra 5 metres in South territory. Comes left to Horsburgh, away to Papali'i, and Big Papa, he's floored, 37 out from the South line. Last tackle Canberra. Starling dummy half. He goes right to Sanders, left foot kick. Horsburgh's leading the charge on Alex Johnston, who takes it calmly. 12 out from his own line. Raiders 18, Rabbitohs 4. Touchline, Michael Carianis.
Yeah, the Rabbitohs were going to make a change a couple of minutes ago. Brandon Smith was about to return to the fray. He had the 4th interchange card, but they elected not to use him. Cameron Kolomatangi, Cam Murray are desperately trying to just cling on to half-time. They're gassed.
So now the Rabbitohs with it, MC, 9 metres short of halfway. Facing a pretty hefty deficit. Fafita plays it to Marmazellis, goes right to Kolomatangi, centre field, and Keon's caught, a metre short of halfway. Last tackle. Marmazellis goes left to Walker. He runs it, takes on the defence, then a wraparound ball caught by Duncan. He sends it back into Fafita. Fafita kicks behind Kyo Weeks. It's not bad, bounces off the upright. Sanders comes away with it for Canberra, 6 out from the Raiders line. Or was it Horsburgh? No, in fact, it's Hudson Young.
Was he aiming for the post?
No, I don't think there was a hope in heck.
He wasn't doing a Nathan Cleary?
No. No, I think it came off the outside of his boot, but credit to him, Kyo Kaya Weeks dummy half, goes left to Sebastian Chris, and he's nailed 18 out from his own line. 90 seconds to go first half. Warm conditions here at Perth Stadium. Young gets a ball left to right away from Ethan Strange to Sasangi. Beats 1-2 again. Simi Sasangi over halfway. He gets ankle tapped finally by Walker. Gets up to go again. Links up with Strange. Back to Sasangi. Beats another one. Got the pass away to a rampaging Canberra Raiders second rower. Hudson Young, he's got a double. Hudson with an H. Canberra 22, South 4. Well, 2 of those points should go to Simi Sasangi. What an effort by the right centre. Raiders 22, South 4, kick to come. Hudson Young gets another one.
I love how the Canberra Raiders get their ball to their centre, but Simi Sasangi has got spiders on him this afternoon. The way that he carrying that ball on that right edge, he trips over, finds his feet again, gives the ball to Strange, and then just gets the ball back and then licks across, and he can see his teammate in Hudson Young looming, absolutely flying on the inside, gives it to him untouched, goes over the line and scores a great try. He come up a play earlier too, Hudson Young, to get back in the backfield and get that play off the kick there from David Fafita, but this is beautiful rugby league, and Simi Sasangi is on fire.
He
down
is
the right edge.
one of the best centres in the comp this year, Michael Carrier.
On form he is, Andrew. He's been outstanding and giving that left-hand side of South Sydney a bath at the moment again. Jai Gray off the field, the makeshift left-hand side defensive unit, and South Sydney were limping to half-time. They were hoping to try and stay in this contest, but they've had a really poor opening 40 minutes.
So now the kick will come from Sanders, 11 metres out, just fractionally off centre, to give Canberra a 20-point half-time lead. Sanders with a left boot, makes no mistake, right between the sticks. He's 4 out of 4, and at half-time, Canberra 24 leads South Sydney 4 on the back of the Raiders scoring 3 tries in 10 minutes before half-time, and South Sydney looks shell-shocked as they make their way off Perth Stadium. For Canberra, 24 points, tries to Hudson Young in the 20th minute, Savalio Tamale in the 29th, Kaya Weeks in the 33rd, and Hudson Young again in the 39th minute. Ethan Sanders, 4 goals from 4 attempts, 1 restart. For South Sydney, a try to Cody Walker in the 25th minute. Latrell Mitchell, none from 1, no restarts, no challenges. The penalties are 2 apiece. Liam Kennedy's doing a really good job just keeping this game flowing, and it's all Canberra at the break. Luke Lewis, 24-4.
Yeah, absolutely. Canberra Raiders, they've done a really good job. They've had to defend their line a few times, but I love the way that they're playing. They're just playing hard and direct. They're setting up a part of the field. They want to go to that right edge. Ethan Strange is playing really well as well. He's playing eyes up. As soon as he sees a little bit of space, he demands the ball. He gives it straight to Simi Sasangi, who's got spiders out there at the moment on him. No one wants to tackle him. He looks like an absolute superstar. He's playing some good football. Hudson Young on the left-hand side, he's doing a really good job. His leadership in talk and defence, absolutely spot on. Jai Gray has been a massive loss for the South Sydney Rabbitohs. They look lost in attack. They also look lost in defence. So they've got to get that sorted quick smart at this break.
Well, Michael Karianis has been enjoying it all from the touchline. MC, that was a remarkable last 15 minutes or so from Canberra.
It was, but they got rewarded because we spoke of they opened in 20 minutes and they were well on top. They came out with much better intent than South Sydney. South Sydney looked slow off the start and just couldn't regain any of that ascendancy in that opening 40 minutes. A really poor opening 40 minutes from South Sydney. Take Cody Walker out of that side at the moment. He's their only attacking hope for the Rabbitohs. They've been really poor with the ball and then just well off the pace.
All right, Michael, take a breather. It's half-time. Canberra 24, leading South Sydney 4 around the grounds. Jersey Flegg, West Tigers 22, leading Newcastle 6 earlier. St George Illawarra 28, pipped Manly Warringah 26, and Cronulla Sutherland thrashed the Sydney Roosters 52-12. New South Wales Cup earlier, the Dragons 52 defeated Manly Warringah 12. Currently, Newtown 18 at Henson Park, leading the Roosters 4. In the Queensland Cup first half, Mackay 4, leading Northern Pride 0. Tweed Seagulls 8, leading South Logan 4, Ipswich Jets 6, leading the Burleigh Bears 0. All of those games so far in the first half. In the AFL, North Melbourne and Brisbane Lions was won by the Lions, 92-66. This is all in Adelaide with Gather Round. In the final quarter, Essendon by 40 points leading Melbourne, 107-67. Super Rugby, Waikato Chiefs 62, thrashed Moana Pacifica 17. Currently into the second half, Fijian Drua leads the Western Force by 19 points to 12. And A-League men, it's Melbourne victory away, leading Auckland FC by 1-0. 24-4, Canberra leads South Sydney. And at halftime, by the way, if you're listening to us on the Gold Coast, you are now off to the AFL, or is that... oh no, that is right now. For everyone else, let's get the latest from the ABC Newsroom.
News. Hello, I'm Satyam Weinstein. NASA's Artemis 2 moon mission has returned safely back to Earth this morning. After flying by the far side of the moon, the 4 astronauts splashed down in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of the U.S. state of California. Here's the moment Mission Control announced the astronauts had made it home.
Splashdown confirmed at 7:07 p.m. Central Time, 5:07 p.m. Pacific Time. From the pages of Jules Verne to a modern-day mission to the moon, a new chapter of the exploration of our celestial neighbor is complete. Integrity's astronauts back on Earth.
The splashdown concludes a history-making 10-day mission where the crew ventured deeper into space than any other humans. The 3 Americans and 1 Canadian traveled more than 399,000 kilometers from Earth. NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman says the crew have done an amazing job.
These were the ambassadors from humanity to the stars that we sent out there right now, and I can't imagine a better crew than the Artemis 2 crew that just completed a perfect mission right now. So, yes, it's a huge moment for everybody, right? I mean, we are back in the business of sending astronauts to the moon.
Doubts remain if peace talks between the US and Iran will get underway as delegations from Tehran and Washington head to the Pakistani capital Islamabad. Ali Crew reports.
A high-level Iranian delegation has arrived in Pakistan for the talks, but says before they can get underway, their preconditions must be met. Those include a ceasefire in Lebanon and the unblocking of Iranian assets. Earlier, US President Donald Trump took to social media to say the only reason the Iranians were alive was to negotiate a deal. He warned they have no cards other than the short-term extortion of the world by blocking the Strait of Hormuz. US Vice President J.D. Vance, who heads up the American delegation, says he expects a positive outcome from the negotiations, but cautioned the Iranians against what he termed trying to play us.
Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has departed Singapore after a brief visit where he signed a bilateral agreement to further shore up Australia's fuel supplies. Here's National Affairs correspondent Jane Norman.
Because Australia is vulnerable right now, we import 90% of our liquid fuels. We only have 2 relatively small refineries onshore, so we really rely on our neighbours. Our big suppliers are, of course, Singapore, China, Malaysia, Korea. These are the countries where the vast volumes of jet fuel, diesel and petrol are coming from. So the Prime Minister is expected to sort of continue his fuel diplomacy mission in the region to shore up those supplies, because his government's agenda right now is utterly consumed by the objective of getting fuel supplies to Australia.
Energy Minister Chris Bowen has confirmed Australia's reserves for petrol and jet fuel have decreased. Providing his daily update, Mr Bowen says the nation has 38 days worth of petrol, 31 days of diesel and 28 days worth of jet fuel in reserve. That's a decrease of 1 day for petrol and 2 days for jet fuel. The reserve for diesel has risen by 2 days. The Energy Minister has assured Australia is well placed as possible amid the ongoing oil crisis.
They are figures in reserve. It's not the amount of fuel that we have that's a countdown. It is added to by fuel that comes in, and of course it doesn't count the fuel that's in cars and is in service stations right around Australia.
Britain has withdrawn a plan to cede sovereignty of the Chagos Islands in the Indian Ocean to Mauritius after the US declined to give its approval. The BBC's Nick Eardley has more.
It looks like this bill, which was the legal mechanism by which the UK would cede control off the Chagos Islands to Mauritius and then lease back that strategic base on Diego Garcia, it looks like that bill is shelved for the foreseeable future. It's not coming back in the next few weeks. It will run out of time in this session of Parliament, and there's no plan at the moment to have it in the King's Speech, which is the government's legislative plans for the next Parliament. So it's unclear whether this legislation is going to come back at all.
And the Victorian government says it's rolling out a new program to help support students completing unpaid clinical placements in regional and rural Victoria. The program will provide 520 grants of up to $575 a week to assist students with travel and relocation costs during regional placements. There's also funding for up to $30,000 for participating mental health services to help boost student placements. Victorian government says the Pathways to Practice Incentive Grant program supports students completing placements. You're up to date with the very latest from ABC News.
There's no doubt that country music is bigger than ever right now. Join me, Outback Tom, as I get you around the artists that are blazing a trail. Listen to Country Club, Sunday night at 6 on ABC Country or anytime you like on the ABC Listen app.
ABC sports coverage of the 2026 NRL Premiership.
Dummy half Starling puts in a little stab kick for Hudson Young. How often do we see that for Canberra? Hudson with an H is over to score. Deft little stab kick by Tom Starling. Hudson Young the try. South 19 out for the goal line. Hubner plays it to Marmazellis. Goes left to Murray, away to Walker to Mitchell. Quick hands away to Alex Johnston. Steps in field away from one. Then he bounced past. Picked up by Walker in the corner to score. Humphreys then away. It was an awful attempt to pass by Mitchell. Picked up by Canberra over the 30. The 20 goes to Marley. Over the 10. Oh, what have you done to Marley? He stopped running. He thought he was in the World Sevens in Hong Kong. He has got it down, but the defence, Walker and Graham, caught him, and it was a real struggle to ground the ball. He should have ground that easily to Marley. Nearly bombed the biggest bomb try in history. Played to Starling, short side right to Strain, linked up with Sasangi. Dummies his way straight past Tallis Duncan. Gets the ball on his inside to Kyo Weeks. Great try for Canberra. Strain to Sasangi, beats 1-2 again. Simi Sasangi over halfway. He gets ankle tapped finally by Walker. Gets up to go again. Links up with Strange. Back to Sasangi. Beats another one. Got the pass away to a rampaging Canberra Raiders second rower. Hudson Young, he's got a double. Hudson with an 8.
ABC sports coverage of the 2026 NRL Premiership.
On your radio, ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
A really dominant first half from Canberra, as you just heard. They lead South Sydney by 24 points to 4. Crowd of around 30,000 here at Perth Stadium, enjoying game one of the doubleheader. Game two will be the Sydney Roosters taking on Cronulla Sutherland. I'll get Louis' thoughts on that game in a moment. On the text line, 0467 920 222. I can remember meeting Mal Meninga at the Prawn Festival at Mooloolaba on the Sunshine Coast back in the late 70s. I think he was playing for South at the time, and he was also a young police officer. Yeah, well, that's true. He struck me then as being a very astute young dude, and I'm pleased to say that nothing's changed in the intervening 50 years. I hope the Perth Bears are a better proposition than the Reds in the Super League era, says Mark. Well, hopefully with the NRL backing, Louis, they're set up to be a long-term success, not just what happens over 2 or 3 years.
No, absolutely. We asked him off here before as well. Cows are all getting back with all the flights, and I remember Michael was saying that that he used to have to cover the team that was coming in. Now that's all sort of a little bit different this time around. So I think they'll be fine. All the backing that they've got there, the setups that they've got sounds really, really good. Their facilities sound amazing. So fingers crossed it is a real long-term success as well.
Please tell me this is South's last trip to Perth. Hope the money's been good to give up a guaranteed 2 points every year. What did I say earlier? They've lost 5 in a row over in Perth, which is tough for South fans. Where did you say I could find the Mal Meninga interview, please? From John A. Bears Tragic. You will find that interview on the ABC NRL Daily podcast feed. Just search for ABC NRL Daily whenever you get your podcast, or find it anytime on ABC Listen. It's going to be on the up in around about an hour and a half or so, about 5:30 Australian Eastern Time. And between games too, at about 5:10, Ollie Peterson is a really good fella, and he's the drive time host on ABC Perth Radio. Mad rugby league fan. We're going to talk to him just to find out the challenges the Bears will have in terms of the media space, not only from next year but even right now. So that'll come between 5 and 5:30. Then Cronulla and the Sydney Roosters, Luke Lewis. What a good matchup this is. The Sharkies have actually won 3 of their last 4 against the Roosters. We've seen some of those, or called them, and they've been really, really impressive, and they returned to form last week. How does this matchup line up in your view?
It's like the Cronulla Sharks a little bit have got the wood over the Roosters for some reason, but look, I think it's a very even game of footy. I don't feel like the Roosters are playing their best. I don't feel like the Sharks are at their best, but the Sharks will get a lot of confidence out the way they played last week. I do like the Roosters. They got obviously a couple back in Victor Radley and Spencer Leniu. They're huge ins, and I think they'll be a lot better for that. So I think it's going to be a very close game of rugby league. I don't, obviously not tipping against the Sharks, but I just feel like, again, the Roosters are ready and primed for a big game.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting as Canberra comes back out, led by Hudson Young for this second half. The Sharkies are 8th, the Roosters are 12th, but they're both on 6 competition points.
Yeah, and I reckon that where they're sitting, they're pretty even two teams. So I really can't wait for this one. I think it's going to be a good game of footy. I think it's going to be end-to-end stuff, and there'll be some really exciting attack out there as well.
Seeing the team changes have come through yet. Canberra is just to our left. And what did we work out? The eastern side of Perth Stadium. The starting lineups appear to be intact as long as these teams have been finalised. It's due about now. And the only change I can see comes on the Cronulla bench, with Hohepa Puru replaced by Jaden Beryl, which would be his first game of the year. And Riley Jones comes onto the bench for Tukuhau Tapua. So there are a couple of changes there for Cronulla Southern. Puru and Hau Tapua out, and Jaden Beryl and Riley Jones come onto that bench. And for the Roosters, there don't appear to be any changes at this stage, so I'll double check that again very shortly. South now join Canberra on the field. What can they do to get back in this? Louis down by 24-4 the Rabbitohs.
Well, South Sydney need to fix up their left-hand side defence. That's the key, because at the moment, Simi Sasang is tearing them apart. So I think that's probably the biggest part for them. And they've got to hold the ball. They can't just keep pushing passes out the back when they feel pressure. The Canberra Raiders pressuring them in defence. They're coming up when they feel like they've got the overlap. They're putting pressure on their ball players, and South don't know what to do with that at the moment. Canberra just can't sit there and relax. So 20 points in this game today with a little bit of momentum is easy to come back from.
Just had a look down behind the Canberra bench, and there's the coach, Ricky Stewart, in a big white polo shirt, Canberra shirt, green shorts, looking very cash, but he'll be anything but relaxed at the moment. And from the kick-off, it's Josh Papali'i returning it for the Raiders, and he's caught 18 out from his own line. He wants his team to really go on with the job here in the second half with a 24-4 advantage. It comes right to Corey Horsburgh, and he's put to the ground, 22 out from his own goal line. We'll check in with MC on the touchline shortly. Starling, short ball right to Zach Hosking. He's caught 30 metres out from his own line. Plays the ball to Starling. Dance to the left away to Horsburgh. He's caught, put to the deck, 11 short of halfway. Starling waits a dummy half. The tackle there came from White. Quick hand, Sanders away to Young, but he's wrapped up 4 metres short of halfway and 12 in from the far touchline. Played to Starling, goes right to Sanders on the last. End over end kick. It's shallow, but it bounces straight to Alex Johnston. 15 metres out from his own line, heads up over the 20, and he's scored 23 out from his own line and 20 in from this near touchline by Strange and Noah Martin. Now it comes right to Tallis Duncan, forced into the centres after Jai Gray left the field with that shoulder injury and was replaced in the centres by Tallis Duncan and a fullback by Latrell Mitchell. South 10 short of halfway. Ball's played by Murray. Comes left to right. Marmazellis, Hubner. Then Humphreys away to Fafita. He's caught a metre short of the halfway line. He'll play 20 in from the far touchline to Marmazellis. Goes left, Colamatangi. Gee, that was nearly a forward pass. In fact, it was forward. That was a terrible pass. It was only about a metre long as well, but it was clearly forward, and referee Liam Kennedy was all over it. So Canberra will get a scrum feed, 6 short of halfway. Minute 40 gone second half, 24-4 in favour of the Raiders.
Well, that's one thing they don't need, South Sydney, to get back in this game. On play play two coming out of your own end, come up with a really simple error in a forward pass. It's a horrible pass. It'll give Canberra a really good opportunity to put an attacking kick on at the end of this set.
I know Michael's been chasing news. We'll get to him in a moment. Canberra wins the scrum and it comes to the left. Sanders away to Hudson Young, who's been outstanding. Again, tackle 5 metres short of halfway. He'll play the ball to Kyo Week. With Luke Lewis, Michael Carianis, I'm Andrew Moore. NRL Saturday, coming from Perth Stadium. I think we're the only broadcasters here, so we're honoured to be here. Here's Josh Papali'i. He's going to be caught by Kepi. About 7 metres in South Sydney territory. 20 in from this near touch line. Plays the ball. They work it left away to Zach Hosking. He scored 32 away from the South Sydney line. Kolomatangi was there. Starling comes right to Sanders. Short ball away, Noah Martin. Wrapped up 20 metres out from the South line. 18 in from touch. Last tackle Canberra. Starling goes left and Sanders, bit of a switcheroo kick, but it's very shallow. Only goes forward about a metre. And it's caught by Sasangi. He's tackled instantly. Terrible kick from Sanders. Change over to South. 22 out from their own line, but they do trail 24-4. 3 minutes gone second half. Let's find out what's doing on the touchline with Michael Carianis.
Yeah, not much doing from South Sydney's point of view yet, Andrew. Again, a poor set to start this second half, following on from what was a really bad end to that first half. And Canberra just started again this second half with a bit more intent.
There's now a good ball inside here for South Sydney. Gets them 7 metres in Canberra territory. Mitchell plays it to Marmazelis. Goes right. Humphries away to Fafita. Beats one tackle and still going. Finally caught 27 out from the Canberra line. Marmazelis dummy half. Goes to the left. Hubner away to Kolomatangi to Walker to Mitchell. Latrell throws what a pass over the top to Johnston, but he's caught by Jet Stewart. 13 out and 2 metres in from this near touchline. Played on the last to Duncan. Goes to his right. Mitchell away. Cody Walker a rush left foot kick. Up they go through the hands of Whiten. Claimed by South. Surely that went forward. Campbell Graham claiming the try. But we're going to the bunker. Certainly looked like a knock on to me, Louis, or do we disagree again?
No, I'm with you on that. But then how do you rule this a forward? Like, how do we not be able to rule on a forward pass with this one? This actually touches his hand, comes out. How do you say that's not a forward pass? Like,
he never passed it. There was no passing.
No, but it looks like the same thing. It's how do you judge this?
We're disagreeing again, Louis.
No, I just feel like this one here, like
he never looked like.
I reckon he looks like he knocks us on.
He did knock it on.
Travel forward towards the opponent's dead ball line.
I just find like he can rule that.
I know broadly what you're saying,
but that makes sense.
But this specifically, that's a blatant knock-on.
It is a knock-on. I agree too straight away. But I find it weird that you can't rule on a forward pass.
I understand. Down to the touchline, Michael Carianis.
It is a bit weird, but I get what Louis is trying to say there. The referee, Liam Kennedy, saw it straight away and was going to call it until it ended up as a potential try. So, took the safe option and went to the bunker, but he was always going to rule a knock-on there.
Yeah, they got that one right. Even Pete from Sports here is nodding. Although I don't know, he might be agreeing with you, Louis. Here's Canberra heading up to their 30-metre line and beyond through Noah Martin. Great run, took a lot of putting down. Finally hits the deck, 12 short of halfway. Courtesy of Kolomatangi. Plays it, it comes to the left. Strange away to Horsburgh. Corey fends away from one. And now that great leg drive gets him to within 4 of halfway. Canberra 24, South Sydney 4. Now a strong run by Papali'i. Gets him 9 metres in South territory. Tackled by Murray and Duncan. Played to Starling on the last. Goes left to Sanders. Left foot kick, much better this time, but Latrell Mitchell's there with the catch. 15 out from his own line. Strange led the chase with the tackle. Souths get it back, trailing 24-4. 5 minutes gone in this second half. Rabbitohs now with the footy. Campbell Graham plays it to Humphries. He sends it right to Fafita. Tackle 32 out from his own line.
Look at the shape of South Sydney. Absolutely nothing. There was no player outside the tram lines there. The two little lines in the middle of the field. But horrible attack.
They go short side left. Humphries got the pass away. And now one-handed to Duncan down the wing. He sent it back to the right. Humphries, who's floored 24 out. They found a little bit of shape there. Played on the last now. Duncan goes right. Through hands. Marmazelis to Walker. A little dipsy-doodle stab kick. Dived on by South. 6 more tackles. Great chance for the Rabbitohs here. Ball played to Marmazelis. Quickly to the right. Latrell Mitchell gallops into the defensive. Young and Sanders. Far corner, 10 metres out from the line. Played to Peter Marmazelis, goes to the left on the open side, away to Sean Kepi, runs into Big Papa and caught 5 out from the goal line. He'll play it now to Marmazelis. Goes left for South, Humphries away, Walker. Dumming goes himself, got straight past one and he's over to score. Easily beat the defence of Noah Martin, who looks horrified. Try to Cody Walker, gets South back in the game. 6 minutes, 10 seconds gone in the second half. Canberra 24, South Sydney 8, kick to come Rabbitohs, Louis.
Yeah, well, the Rabbits knew what they were doing. They had no shape coming their own end, but then they just tricked them when they went down that short edge. And then the Canberra Raiders, they'll be filthy. It was the last play, and as they put a little kick in, the ball ricochets off the boot and gives the South Sydney a whole new set. And then beautiful attack over this left edge, and Cody Walker sets it up nicely. I actually thought he was going to throw a Harbour Bridge pass over the top to hit to Alex Johnson. Throws a dummy and just slices through and gets a double for the afternoon. Nice football there from Cody Walker.
I think that just emphasised your point at half-time, MC. Cody's been their most dangerous player by length.
He's been their only dangerous player, I'd say, Andrew. He's been outstanding with ball in hand and created a couple of opportunities or a half chances, but, he capitalised again. I'm with Louis. He was definitely going to pass that ball, then realised that Noah Martin had fallen off the tackle. Noah Martin's had a great start to his season in his first full season in first grade, but just fell off the tackle there and allowed Cody Walker to slice through.
So now the conversion from Latrell Mitchell, 20 out, 20 in from touch. Moves in with the left boot, strikes it, likes it, kicks the goal. He's 1 from 2, Canberra 24, South Sydney 10, still 32 and a half minutes to go. Next, it is Cronulla Sutherland against the Sydney Roosters, a 5:30 kickoff. And confirming the team news, the only changes to the Sharks are Hepa Puru and Tuku Hau Tapua out off the bench, replaced by Jaden Beryl in 20, Riley Jones in 21. No changes to the Sydney Roosters. Referee Todd Smith, Adam G in the bunker. And then tonight, Melbourne and the Warriors at Amy Park. Grant Atkins, the referee, Chris Butler in the bunker. Around the grounds, Jersey flag. West Tigers 24, leading Newcastle 16. That's half-time. Melbourne 20, lead the Warriors 8. New South Wales Cup half-time. Newtown 22, lead the Roosters 8. As from the kick-off, Walker the catch, gives it right to Colin Matangi. Caught 13 out from his own goal line. Queensland Cup second half. Mackay 18, leading Northern Pride 6. Tweed 20, leading South Logan 4. Ipswich 18, leading Burleigh Bears 4. On the AFL final quarter, Essendon 107, leading Melbourne 67. When was the last time Essendon won? It's been a longer drought than St George Illawarra. As Lachlan Hubner is tackled 2 metres short of halfway. I should just ask Michael. Here it comes away now, Marmazelis. Tackled 9 metres in Canberra territory. The ball played to Brandon Smith back out there. Goes right to Humphries. Left foot kick down to the left wing to Marlowe with a catch. 6 out from his own line. Confronted by Graham and Whiten. Caught 6 out again. The momentum shifted noticeably here, Louis. South are right on the balls of their feet here. Sebastian Chris hits it up and now he's driven back inside his 10-metre line. 24-10 though, the Raiders lead. 8 minutes 30 gone second half.
Yeah, I'm just watching the energy levels of the Canberra Raiders at the moment. They're all walking. Their body language doesn't look great. South Sydney have definitely amped up this second half at the moment. So they've got to keep this. But the Canberra Raiders, they're just got to be able to get through these sets, wait for an opportunity. They've got to kick long and deep.
Jet Stewart on his 20 plays it. Starling takes off from dummy half. Great run, beat 1. Still standing, 11 short of halfway. Wrap round ball to Kyo Weeks. Weeks accelerates, dragged down on halfway. Magnificent run by Starling. Played on the last. Comes to the right side. Ethan Strange with the up and under. To the left wing of Johnston. The chase is on, headed by Sasangi. And Johnston the catch. Sasangi the tackle. 19 out from the south line. Just got a text here from Michael downstairs. Essendon has beaten Melbourne 113 to 68. And MC, that ends, what are you saying, a 17-game losing streak for the Bombers.
No one cares, Andrew. That's why they're listening to the rugby league.
Here's South Sydney 34 out from their own line. The ball played. Comes to the left side of the field to Brandon Smith. He's caught 6 metres short halfway. There's the ball and Tallis Duncan takes off. Hits down the short side left to Johnston. He's over the 20. Sends it back on the inside to Humphries. He's over. South are right back in this, baby. 10 gone second half. Canberra South 14. A wonderful try down the left side. Finished off by Jamie Humphreys. 24-14 to Canberra. Kick to come South.
Yeah, nice little short side play here by South Sydney. Jamie Humphreys, the man who scores the try. But good recognition here from Callis Duncan down the short side. Goes down to dummy half. Simple little draw and pass. Finds Alex Johnson absolutely flying. And the Canberra Raiders just couldn't get back in time to stop the South Sydney Rabbitohs going over the line. And then Humphreys just puts himself in a great position. Gets South Sydney right back in this game. 24-14 kick to come.
That's the try of the day, MC.
Well, there's been a couple. Canberra scored a couple of long-range ones as well. There's been some entertaining play, and that's what the conditions do. It's very hot in the middle of the field, and defenders are just getting a little bit sloppy and lazy, and there's some really good attacking players here. And you mentioned Brandon Smith. He started his first stint of the season at dummy half. Now he's playing that middle forward, replacing Cam Murray.
So here's the kick coming from Mitchell. Never mucks around when he's kicking for goal. 24 metres out, 15 in from the near touch line. Moves in with the left boot. Latrell strikes it, likes it, kicks the goal. He's 2 out of 3. So Canberra now leading South 24-16, but a vastly different feel about this game with 29 minutes to go. So Canberra will bring it back for the restart. Joe Tarpany back on the field for Canberra. Continuing around the ground, second half Super Rugby. Fiji and Drua 24 leading Western 4-17. And A-League men's second half, Auckland and Melbourne victory 1-0. Is it just me or is that PA really, really loud?
Definitely loud.
Here's the kickoff coming from Kaya Wicks. So 4 tries to 3 to Canberra. But these 12 points scored in the second half all belong to South Sydney. And still plenty of time for the Rabbitohs. Here's the kickoff from Wicks. Sends it deep down to the western side of the field. Kickoff taken by Walker. Gives it right to Keon Kolomatangi. And he's tackled 13 out from his own goal line. So can South maintain the rage here? Played to Walker. He goes right to Kepi. He's caught 19 out from his own line. Centre field in front of his own goalpost. Plays the ball to Marmazelos. Goes right to Fafita. He's wrapped up on his own 30-metre line by Horsburgh and Hudson Young. Now to dummy half. Marmazelos runs rings around the defenders. It's about a 12-metre gain. Caught finally by Horsburgh and Tarpany. 7 short of halfway. He plays it. They work it short side right to Mitchell. Dump to the ground. 5 metres in Canberra Raiders territory. Bring up the last. Ball played. Actually, it was Fafita who plays it. Goes left to Mitchell. Sends up a bomb that goes nowhere. Sent a few like that. Step back though by Kolomatangi. Then juggled by South Sydney. Sasangi's involved in the play. Still the last for South. They're on halfway. Wraparound ball goes in behind Walker. Finally kicks it downfield towards the touch line. The ball bouncing for Kaya Weeks. 25 out from his own goal line. He's got room to move over the 40. Beats one to halfway. Dragged down on the halfway line. 27 minutes 40 to go. Canberra 24, South 16. Played to Martin. He sends it left and Stewart's caught 5 metres in South territory. Morgan Smithy's back on the field now for Canberra, replacing Papali'i. And for a team that's been playing so well, that was an ordinary finish to the set from South as Canberra now 39 out from the goal line. Starling dummy half. Gets it left to Smithies. Morgan Smithies, great run. Finally taken there by Kolomatangi, who looks hurt. He's still down on the ground, Keon Kolomatangi, and Smithy's told to go back and play. 22 out to Starling. Goes right, Sanders, inside ball, Tarpany. And he's well wrapped up. 15 out from the line. Last tackle, Raiders. Starling goes to the right to Strange. And he steps past one, Ethan Strange, beats another. He's going to be caught by Walker and Duncan. Change over, 5 out from the South Sydney line. And the scoreline 24-16 in favour of Canberra. We've had 13 minutes of the second half.
I think that's a smart play there by Ethan Strange. I feel he felt the space open up. I reckon he would have come off his right again. Oh, here's a break.
Trell Mitchell threatened to back up Whiten, who made the half break. He plays it on his own 20. Comes to the right edge. South Sydney now within 15 of halfway and a couple of plays. Graham plays the ball. It comes to the left edge to Smith, and Brandon scored 4 metres short of halfway. Noel Martin involved in the tackle, along with Ethan Strange. Now dummy half Walker goes right column Matangi. He seems okay now, and he's tackled centre field, 9 metres inside Canberra territory. Last play, Marmazelis goes left to Humphreys. He puts up a towering kick. Jet Stewart underneath it. Johnson coming through. Stewart the catch, and now he's claimed 20 out from his own line. 24-16 in favour of Canberra with 26 minutes still to play. Now Simi Sasangi, centre field for the Raiders. He's scored 28 out from his own line. Played to Sanders, got the pass left, and to Marley, who's, look, let's face it, had a shock of the young winger. He dropped it cold. Coming back onto the field for Canberra now is Atta Mariota with 25 and a half to go. We check in down the touchline, Michael Carianis.
Yeah, Keon Kalamatangi injured that knee. He's got an ongoing knee issue at the moment. As you can see, that right knee is heavily strapped up and he's just struggling at the moment. It's going to be an ongoing issue that's going to need managing throughout the season, but he just copped the knock a couple of moments ago and is a little bit slow.
So Mariota on for Horsburgh, and is it just me, MC, or is Brandon Smith already puffing hard out there?
It's very hot.
So now Souths win the scrum. And it comes to the right side to Graham. He's caught 23 out from the Canberra line. Plays the ball now to Marmazelis. Comes left to Sean Kepi. He steps into the defensive line, led by Tarpany, and stands in the tackle 11 metres out. Chance here for the Rabbitohs for a third try in the half. Humphreys goes left to Walker, then away to Mitchell. Dummies goes himself. Straight through one, caught half a metre out. If that, or did he get it down? I think he might have. Try to Latrell Mitchell. Try to South. South 24-20 to Canberra. Latrell loved that one. He did it on his own. 15 minutes 30 gone second half. Canberra 24, Rabbitohs 20. Great try scored by Latrell Mitchell.
What a damaging runner Latrell Mitchell is when he decides that he wants to run like this. No, I don't think anyone can tackle him. This is just beautiful work. Just gets down, gets his big bumpers out, keep pushing those big legs. And he gets the ball down. I don't know if it comes loose into a Canberra player here. I reckon it's going to get looked at a few times. But this is just brilliant work. 10 metres out. 4 Canberra Raiders players that are on him. Weeks doesn't get into the tackle. Just watching, trying to work out how he can get in there.
Even on his way to the deck, it didn't look like he could possibly score a try.
I don't even know how he could get the ball out here, but you do see a little bit of ball movement in one of these shots here. I just want to know, does it leave his hand? It's coming out. There's movement, but I'm going to say he keeps it in his hand.
Yeah, I'm with you. MC down on the touchline.
Yeah, 3 ticks for me, boys. That's a try. The ball does move, but his hand never comes off it. It moves off the back of the impact from Kyle Weeks' leg, I think it is. So I've got no issue with that. That's a try. It's been confirmed.
It has. So now Latrell lining up to convert his own try. 25 metres out, 10 metres in from touch. 4 tries apiece, 24-20 to Canberra, 16 unanswered points for the Rabbitohs. Here's Latrell, he's kicked 2 from 3. He strikes it, heading towards the post, he likes it, he's kicked it again. 2 in it. Canberra 24, South Sydney 22. Still over a quarter of the game left, 23 minutes to play. 0467 920 222. G'day, Andrew, Luke and Mr. Suitcase. NRL's first commentary team, John included, enjoying your usual energetic call on a hot autumn day in this beautiful northern river. Still smiling from Thursday. Sean the Happy Bulldog. Yeah, you're entitled to, Sean. Call full time now, please. I really need a win. Go Raiders, says Andrew. Oh, Andrew, you're in for a tough 23 minutes or so here.
They definitely need to change the momentum because they look horrible out there at the moment.
They really, really do. Kick-off. But we've seen both teams when the other has the upper hand. The team that does not looks terrible, but then it's one mistake can change everything. South 24, Canberra 22. From the kick-off, South have it. Kalamatangi plays it. Goes right to Sean Kepi. Mariota is one of 3 defenders to bring him to the deck with Smithies. Marmazelis dummies, goes himself into Mariota. Help from Martin and also Smithies, 20 out from the south line. Humphries dummy half. Goes right to Fafita. Gee, I'm impressed with his work rate again. Fafita tackle, 30 out from his own goal line for South. Plays at Marmazellis. Goes left to Colomatungi. He's tackled midfield, 11 metres short of halfway. 5 tackles done for South. Marmazellis finds Latrell Mitchell to his left. A booming, spiralling kick underneath. Oh, Kaya Weeks lost it. It was right into his chest, but it was one of those terrifying, towering, spiralling punts from Latrell Mitchell. Scrum feed South, 17 out from the Canberra line, 18 gone second half, and you'd think the way it's going at the moment, Louis, Canberra almost need a miracle not to concede another try here.
Yeah, at the moment, the way the South Sydney are playing and the way the Canberra are playing, you can see South putting on another 20 points. The Canberra Raiders are doing everything possible to throw this game away. Errors after error coming out of their own end, missing tackles, real simple things for the Canberra Raiders, but the determination from South Sydney is brilliant.
Well, I said at half-time how relaxed Ricky looked in his shorts and his T-shirt. Doesn't look that relaxed now. South win the scrum. They have it 11 metres out. Whiten plays at Marmazellis from dummy half. Oh, he's dumped to the ground. It's a set restart as well here for South. They're first of the game. We've seen a record low of those, I reckon, today. Played now, and it comes from right to left. South Sydney's Brandon Smith. Head down, bum up, drives to within 5 of the goal line. Played to Marmazellis, comes out deep to the left. Tackle made 4 metres out from the goal line in front of the post by Smithies. It's played now by South Sydney. And on the field there for the Rabbitohs, by the way, was Jaden Sullivan. Now right edge, Whiten away to Graham. Beat 1 tackle to Marley. Stands now in the defence. 5 out from the goal line. Last play, South down 24-22. Whiten dummy half. Went himself straight into the defence. Changeover. Canberra survive. 24-22. The Raiders are just hanging on to lead.
I think it's not a bad play there from Jack Whiten. He didn't want to risk, doing a 7 tackle sec or an error coming up. So he just takes the play there. And it's a very hard place to come out of the 1 metre in, 1 metre out from your own line for the Canberra Raiders. Tough place.
Smithy's dummy half goes right to Marley. Tackled 11 out from his own line, and there's South giving away the penalty. Putting a lie to what Louis just said. It's a high shot, so it's a penalty to Canberra. 12 out from their own line. Wayne Bennett won't like that. It's Colomatungi penalised. 20 minutes gone. 20 minutes left, second half. A 2-point lead for the Raiders. That's their 3rd penalty. Only 5 in the game, and now Ethan Strange finds touch on that far side. 30 out from his own line.
They talk about let-offs. The Canberra Raiders absolutely on the ropes there, and they come up with a penalty like that just to gift them field position, kick up field, and that's a strong carry there from Sebastian Chris.
He's caught 9 metres short of halfway. He plays it and they send it open side right. Tarpany casts it up into Humphries and Marmazellis. He's caught on halfway. Also in there was Sullivan. Starling goes left to right. Now it's with Mariotta, middle of the ground. Put on his back, 10 or 11 metres in South Sydney's half. Canberra has not looked like scoring in this second 40. Starling goes right to Sanders, then to Hudson Young. He scored 2 in the first half, and here he's caught 30 out from the Bunnies line. 15 in from the near touch line by Walker and Humphries. Sanders hands it off on the inside to Mariotta. Stands and delivers back centre field to Sanders away to Noah Martin. Tried to shrug away, but White wouldn't let him go. Tackle completed, 22 out from the goal line. Last play Canberra, and it's played to Chris. Goes right to Sanders. Kicks. Goes nowhere again. What is Ethan Sanders doing with his kicking game?
That was ricochet. Come off the South Sydney Rabbitohs kick pressure there from Jack White. That's a good play there from Jack White.
He's really struggling to get the ball away cleanly, isn't he? As South have it, 29 out for their own line. Touchline we go. Michael Carianis.
Yeah, poor finish there for Canberra. They haven't had the ball much over the past couple of minutes, so they needed a good finish there. But what they do need to be is disciplined here and can't give up a set restart and just allow South Sydney to continue to build that pressure.
So now South Sydney with it, Michael. About 10 metres short of halfway.
One other thing I've noticed, you see how Hudson Young's gone to the right edge. It's interesting seeing him out there.
Oh, Sullivan, the pass nearly intercepted by Chris, caught by White, and wrap around ball to Mitchell. He turns it on the inside to Campbell Graham. Mariotta's there with Smithies. 38 out from the line on that far side. Played on the last tackle to Sullivan. Goes left to Mitchell. He puts in a kick, and Kaya Weeks catches this one before he's claimed by the chase. 12 out from his own line. How long left? 18 minutes to go. go, and it's 24 points to 22 in favour of Canberra. So despite all of these troubles in the second half, they maintain a very slender lead. Now Tamale plays it to the right edge, Jet Stewart. Confronted by Tallis Duncan, through him, but now finished off by Humphreys. Plays the ball quickly, they work it right to Sungy. He scored 13 short of halfway, 18 in from touch by Duncan. Plays the ball, they dart from dummy half again through Starling. Flung to the ground, 9 short of halfway. Last tackle, Sasangi goes left to Sanders, and it's another very shallow kick. It bounced on the South Sydney 40 down to the 30, fielded by Campbell Graham. He gets the pass away to his left to Johnston, swerves through a couple, now claimed 3 short of halfway. 17 minutes left in the game. Canberra 24, South 22 of us. Canberra would be saying to Ethan Strange, you do the kicking now, mate. Ethan Sanders cannot get it anywhere. South 2 metres in Canberra's territory. Graham plays it, comes left for Feeder. Taken by Tarpany, 10 metres in Canberra's half. Now dummy half, Peter Marmazelis. Looks left, goes right to Colomatangi. 3 defenders again, Mariota and Tarpany included. 30 out from the Canberra goal line. 2 tackles left for South Sydney. They're 2 behind with 16 and a half to go. Marmazelis goes left. Humphreys turns it in to support, and the tackle made. 28 out from the goal line on the last. Totola plays it. Little chip over the top by Walker. Getting back there, Jet Stewart. He's got it and did really well, falling straight to the deck. To keep it in the field of play by Meter. He now plays the ball Sasangi. Dummy's got it left to Kyo Weeks. Weeks straight through 2. He's over the 20, this thriller-minute machine. Beats another. He runs across field right to left. Had Chris with him, but he accelerates Kyo. He's over halfway. See you later, alligator. Over the 30, the 20, the 10. Speed kills Kyo Weeks. What a thrilling try by the Canberra Raiders fullback. You will not see better than that. 15 minutes 45 to go. Canberra 28, South 22, and as others are wilting on a warm day, Kyo Weeks thrives. What a run, what a try, and 99-metre effort.
This is ridiculous. All I can say is wow. This is absolutely brilliant work from Weeks. He gets the ball out, 5 metres out from his own line, breaks a couple of tackles. He sees some space over in his left edge, so he uses his right foot to get there. Sebastian Christ is what creates the opportunity, though. He can show to him, which takes a little bit of pressure off him for a second. It sets the defensive line, and then bang, straight off his left foot. He's into open space. Then it becomes a foot race between him and Jack Whiten, and that is a beautiful try there from Kyo Weeks. Absolute individual brilliance at its best.
Michael Carianis on the touchline.
Yeah, you spoke about the try of the day earlier. Well, that one, it's going to be impossible to beat from Kyo Weeks. What he beat about 7 or 8 players, the first through his strength, but he busts through the middle of the field and then gets around a couple of others, including Jack Whiten, and well, that's a huge moment. And the moment before was actually a big play from Jet Stewart, who defused the bomb and then ensured that he got on the ground so he wasn't pushed back, and that allowed the opportunity for Canberra to get in a position to score this try. But huge couple of moments there from 2 of the back 3 of the Raiders.
I loved the image too, MC, over the last 20 or 30 metres for Kyo Weeks. Sebastian Chris was about 10 metres back, has just pointed, just run straight. Kyo did it. What a run. That was thrilling. He is an exceptional talent, Kyo Weeks.
It was making me tired watching. I don't know how he got there for the amount of work he just did to get that opportunity in the open field.
I'm starting to think 2 intercepts, Luke Lewis. 14 minutes 30 to go, 28-22. Here's Sanders, an important kick, strikes it, likes it, kicks the goal. So he's kicking hopelessly in general play, really, but magnificently with goal kicks. 5 from 5. Canberra 30, South Sydney 22 with 14 and a half minutes still to play. Around the grounds, Jersey flag. West Tigers 34 lead Newcastle 22. Melbourne Storm leading the Warriors 26-24. New South Wales Cup second half. Newtown 28 leading the Roosters 14. Queensland Cup all games second half. Northern Pride and Mackay Cutters are locked at 18 apiece. Tweed Seagulls 26 leading South Logan 8. Ipswich 18 leading Burleigh Bears 4. In the AFL, Sydney Swans off to a good start leading Gold Coast 15-0 in the first quarter. Super Rugby full-time. Fiji and Droi defeated Western Force 24-22 in the debut rugby match for Zach Lomax. In the A-League men's second half, Melbourne victory leading Auckland 2-1 in Auckland. So from the kick-off, Canberra with it, and that'll have a big influence on how they play out the game, you'd think, having conceded all those points to start the second half. Now they're out by 8 with 14 to go. Canberra with it now through Morgan Smithies. He runs into Colin Matangi and two other defenders, including Marmazelis and Murray. To the right they work it to Simi Sasangi. Star performer in the first half. Here he's tackled. 34 out from his own goal line. 19 in from touch near side. And Starling goes left again. Centre field. Roosters and Sharks are next. Kick-off is an hour away. And we'll be calling that one here too at Perth Stadium. No significant changes to either side. Kick downfield. Claimed by Alex Johnston. 22 out from his own line, and he's nailed 27 out from his own goal line. No changes at all to the Roosters. They're 1-19. And as Louis mentioned at half-time, the return of Victor Radley and Spencer Linu for the Roosters. And for Cronulla, Peru and Howard Tapua drop off the bench. Beryl and Jones come in. South, 12 metres short of halfway. Still a lot to play out here in game one. Campbell Graham hits the deck after he plays it. It comes right Marmazelis to Fafita. He's on his back on halfway. 20 metres in from the far touchline. Played to Marmazelis. Goes left to Murray up the middle. Got through Mariotta. Now taken 9 metres in Canberra's territory by Tarpany. Last play, Walker chips over the top. Great catch, Jed Stewart. He's got a good little reach on him. Took it in his fingertips. Runs away from the first. And now he's caught 19 out from his own line with 12 and a half to go. Canberra with the footy and a 30 points to 22 lead. They work at right edge this time in Canberra. 26 out from their own goal line. Tamale plays it to the right side. Sasangi beats one again. Now caught 14 short of halfway midfield. Plays the ball to Sebastian Chris. He's like, I'm meant to do something. It's all Sasangi. And Chris goes to the right side and he's caught a metre short of halfway. 13 in from touch. Walker's in there with Colin Matangi. Played to Strange. Goes left to Mariotta. Does have an offload in him. Not here though. He stood in the tackle. 8 metres in South half. Last tackle says referee Kennedy. It comes to the right, Ethan Strange. He does put up the up and under. Down and beautifully taken by Latrell Mitchell. Right down low. 15 out from his own line. Canberra 30, South 22. 11 and a half to go, Louis.
Yeah, again, I'm just looking at South Sydney now. They're looking a little bit tired. I reckon that Weeks try definitely took a fair bit out of South Sydney. So they've got to dig deep now. They've got to fight hard on the ground, try and get a penalty or a set restart just to give them a little bit more energy.
Here's Fafita, caught 25 out from his own line. I reckon David Fafita with his carries alone today is about 3 times as many as he'd do in a couple of games for the Gold Coast previously. South 35 out from their own line. Johnston plays it, comes left to Colin Matangi, but he's nailed 9 short of halfway. 20 in from touch. Played on the last tackle. Marmazelis goes left to Humphreys. Left foot kick down to Kyo Weeks. He catches a 10 out from his own goal line. Heads up over the 20. A wall of chasers. Don't let him through. And he'll play 25 out from his own line. Kyo Weeks does so now. And they work it from left to right. Sanders got the pass away centre field to Marley again.
That's 4 drop balls.
He's had a really bad game to Marley. And South dive on it. 32 out from the goal line. Through Marmazelis. He plays it. Humphreys goes right to Vita Totola. Tackle 24 out.
I'd nearly hook him. Right? Not because it's just because of the drop ball. It's putting too much pressure on him at the moment.
Kepi goes left to Colin Matangi. Tamale breathes a sigh of relief because he went without it. Knock on again from Canberra. Knock on South Sydney. It's a knock-on-a-thon. It will be a Canberra feed though. 21 metres out from their own line with the Colin Matangi first mistake. 30 points to 22 in favour of Canberra. 10 minutes 15 to go down to the touchline. Michael Carianis.
Yeah, key on Colin Matangi. He looks like he's going to have to play the full 80 minutes despite the fact that he's got that sore knee. South Sydney have used all 8 of their interchanges and the Raiders just made a crucial change as well. Jaden Brayley is coming to the field for the first time. Tom Starling remaining on the field and will play in the lock roll.
It's been good again, Tom Starling. Thank you, Michael, as they win the scrum. And Brayley sends the ball left to Chris. He's caught 28 out from his own goal line. Ants on the text line. Nice to hear from you, Ants. He's a bleeding green 24-7. So now it is Canberra, 12 metres short of halfway. Ball played, it comes to the right. Brayley away to Sasangi. Wrapped up on halfway for Canberra. 20 in from the touchline by Tallis Duncan. They work it right to Strange. Then he got the pass away to Hudson Young into open space. He turns the ball back to Ethan Strange. He streaks over to score between the posts. Try to Canberra's Ethan Strange. 9 minutes 13 to go. And it's now Canberra 34, South Sydney 22. Beautifully set up down the right edge by Hudson Young and finished off, Luke Lewis, by Ethan Strange.
Oh, I was waiting for your famous words there, Andrew, when he went under the sticks, but...
I'll give it to you, Louis. Game, set, bingo. They will win this, Canberra.
Yeah, I think so as well, and that's a really nice play down the short side there. Quick little hands. Hudson Young, I thought he was going to do a nice draw and pass, does a beautiful little show and go, and then you got Ethan Strange just pushing up in support. Brilliant work there from Ethan Strange as well on the inside, just to skip out the Cody Walker, and then it was just a sprint to the try line. The Strange goes straight underneath the black dot and seals the game for the Canberra Raiders.
Yeah, Michael, 2 tries in 6 minutes for Canberra after they looked in the world of trouble.
Yeah, they've made it hard for themselves in this second half, the Raiders, but they deserve this victory given the way they started this game. Great intent, great line speed, and South Sydney, whilst they had a hope and looked like they may come away with this victory, they haven't deserved to get anywhere near close to Canberra this afternoon.
Thank you, Michael. 30, I crashed everything. My binoculars hit my laptop. 34-22, and Ethan Sanders is right in front. 10 metres out. 6 tries to 4 to Canberra. 3 tries to 2 second half to South. 7 minutes 52 to go. Hope you're enjoying the action here. NRL Saturday as Sanders kicks the goal. He's 6 from 6. And it's now Canberra 36, South Sydney 22. On the text line, 0467 920 222. Maybe to get you back to Las Vegas next year, you could sell merchandise as a fundraiser. I'm thinking Maury's Mike's, Groover's Dictionary, Gibbsy's Morsel Almanac, and MC's suitcases. Well, I love all of those suggestions, John, apart from the last one. Another truly unpredictable game which makes this year so engrossing. Good stuff from Mark. 0467 920 222. So now it's a knockback from a short kickoff, dived on by South Sydney. They have it 18 in for the far touchline. 7 minutes 30 to go here at Perth Stadium for this double header. Roosters and Sharks to come, and then Melbourne against the Warriors at Amy Park tonight. You'll hear that with Quentin Hull, Ryan Hoffman and Ian Cohen. And when we knock off after it's only going to be 5:30 local time, Louis. We're going to have a nice feed somewhere. Tavita Totola plays the ball to Mamazelis, goes left to Colomatungi to Walker, quick hands away to Latrell Mitchell, stands in the tackle, then pops one out the back to Cam Murray, 38 out. He straightens Murray, beats one, now put down 26 out from the goal line. He plays the ball to Mamazelis, goes left to right, Humphries away to Fafita, takes on Sanders and Brayley, and David Fafita still standing, still moving, 7 or 8 metres out from the line and a metre or 2 in from touch. Played on the last to Graham, goes right to left, White and away to Humphries. He puts a little crossfield chip over the head of Weeks. Weeks gets there first in goal and sets sail. He a right foot step, but the chase is there. 7 out from his own line. Canberra 36, South 22, 6 minutes 30 to go. Played to Hudson. Young goes left, lost ball by Canberra. That will be a knock on. And South Sydney will get a scrum feed. About, 12 out from the line, although there's a challenge coming up.
Right, captain's challenge. Previous tackle 1. Greatest challenge is the decision of a loose carry knock on.
It looked for the world live like a knock on, Louis, but...
Yeah, live it definitely did, but it did pop out pretty far out the back.
It was Simi Sasangi, who's been so brilliant.
On impact, Simi Sasangi still has possession of the football. Just going wide now to look at where the ball goes.
Well, it definitely goes straight back. This is a shot out of a cannon.
I thought live it went forward into the South defender.
Now, so I reckon the point of the ball comes off the shoulder.
Ball from contact goes backwards.
Off the Kepi, wasn't it?
Yeah. I I think it just gets forced out.
The
with
whistle
pressure.
is blown. This is a mutual infringement. We'll go back to the previous play ball. The challenge is successful.
Well, there you go. Successful challenge. So, a tick next to that box for Canberra. And it did come off Kepi's shoulders. Downstairs we go to the touchline. Michael Carrier.
Yeah, the energy's totally gone out of this South Sydney side here. We know they can score tries and score them quickly, but with just over 6 minutes remaining, it's going to be a tough ask to try and claw this back. They look totally gassed.
So now it's Canberra from the scrum win. 10 out for their own line. MC will have all the on-field reaction after the game, and Louis 3-2-1s. Local ABC drive host, Ollie Peterson, he'll join us as well. And the between game show, just to let us know how they're tracking media-wise, the Perth Bears. So now Canberra with it, 14 metres short of halfway. Played to Brayley on the last. Comes left to Sanders. Much better contact that time from Ethan. Down to Latrell Mitchell, who feels it. 13 out from his own line. He just calmly turns it on the inside to Campbell Graham, and he's wrapped up 24 out from his own line. So a little losing streak corrected here today by Canberra as it comes left for the Rabbitohs. Mitchell got the pass away to Johnston, and he's wrapped up 30 out from his own line. Play the ball to Mitchell. Got the pass away, Tallis Duncan. He's caught 10 short of halfway. Set restart here to South Sydney. Their second of the day. There's only been 3 in the entire game. So now Murray caught 3 short of halfway. He'll play the ball to Marmazelis. He goes left away to Totola. He's caught 3 metres in Canberra Raiders territory. In there was Young and Smithies. Marmazelis had a dummy half. He's a bit of a live wire, isn't he, Peter Marmazelis? Game 10, tackled 32 out from the Canberra goal line. He plays it now, and it's spun to the left side to Cody Walker. Cut out ball to Duncan, pass Stewart. Now the ball comes away to the King. Alex Johnston dives and scores, and took Kyo Weeks with him. 2-1-5 for AJ. Alex Johnston scores in the corner. 4 minutes 37 to go, and it's now Canberra 36, South Sydney 26. Alex Johnston the try.
Yeah, good finish there by Alex Johnson. Really nice work from Tallis Duncan here again. Gets that little shift over to that left edge. He hasn't got as much ball as he was like, because he's been pushed out to the centre. Just a nice little cutout pass there, and then beautiful little bit of footwork. Comes back on the inside and then keeps the ball alive. Alex Johnson just gets that tunnel vision for the corner, and he just sums up the situation always perfectly, Alex Johnson, when he gets into these situations. He knows exactly where he's going, how he wants to get there, just holds up the Weeks there for a split second, and then goes over in the corner. Nice finish.
Check in with MC after the kick. Latrell Mitchell doesn't muck around. He's taking this back 28 metres in line with Michael Carrianis, and a foot in from touch. 36-26 it is. Mitchell strikes it for South Sydney. He likes it. What a great kick. He's 4 out of 5. Canberra 36, South Sydney 28. Down to you, Michael Carrianis again.
Yeah, nervous little ending here now for the Canberra Raiders. Just over 4 minutes remaining, and we know the Rabbitohs can go bang bang. Again, it came off the back of Cody Walker. He just allowed Tallis Duncan, delivered him a beautiful ball to get on the outside of the Raiders' defence to set up their outside man.
Well, when they got to within 2 points, at halftime, remember, it was 24-4 in favour of Canberra. Then it got to 24-22 because South scored 3 tries in 9 minutes. They're down here by 8 with 4 minutes and 11 seconds to go. The text line 0467 920 222. Hi, Andrew and Luke. Loving the coverage. Was cooking dinner from holidays in New Zealand. Phil and Chris. Here's the kick. And Gabbo, it looks like the Faders are back for 2026. So now it is South Sydney. Can they score again in this set? They're 18 out for their own line on play 1. Totola plays it, comes left to Kepi. He's tackled 25 out from his own line, and in there was Young with Sasangi. Marmazelis goes right. Kolomatangi. Good hands by Humphreys as it went from left to right. But he's tackled 33 out from his own goal line by Martin. Now short side right. And Fafita got the pass away. Mitchell down the right wing. Campbell Graham. He's over the 20. Weeks to beat. Passes back on the inside, and they have scored. Jack White is over. What is happening? 3 minutes 30 to go. Canberra 36. South Sydney 32. They go back to back. Brilliant try right side. Finish stopped by Jack Whiten, Luke Lewis.
Yeah, but Jack Whiten gets a great try, but what about the attack there by South Sydney? David Fafita, like you said, he's been heavily involved this afternoon. He sets up a beautiful play down the short side, plays out the back to Latrell Mitchell, and then it puts Campbell Graham down the sideline. And Jack Whiten, the man pushing up on the inside to get the try. And I think they heard your famous words, Andrew, earlier, and they want to give everyone a little bit of a fright in this last...
I feel like you're pressing me into it, Louis. Here's Mitchell, 19 out, 15 in from the far touchline. Here he comes, Mitchell. He strikes it, likes it, kicks the goal. He's fifth from 6 attempts. What an entertaining game. Canberra 36, South 34, still 3 minutes 10 to go. Down to you, Michael Carianis.
Oh, baby, this is awesome. This is madness. This is gripping. Let's see what the Rabbitohs have in store in this final 3 minutes. And Andrew, how are you going up there?
I'm loving it, Michael. I'm loving it. This is brilliant to watch. So now the kickoff will come, and I'm fascinated here how Canberra defends. South went length. It's 6 tries all of them.
It's ridiculous.
The goal kicking's been great from both teams. Sanders 6 from 6 is the difference. Latrell 5 from 6, and Latrell's been kicking brilliantly. Kickoff goes to the right side. South Sydney return it through Campbell Graham. Caught 16 out from his own line. What a great start to the doubleheader. Played to Humphreys, goes left to Fafita. Geez, been good. Fafita stands in the tackle, 25 out from his own line. Finally on his knees, courtesy of Brayley and Starling. Plays the ball, Mamazelis, right to left. Kolomatangi Walker. Mitchell fights a pass that went forward to Alex Johnston, and he was away, AJ. But it was clearly forward. Liam Kennedy was all over it. Canberra scrum feed, 28 out from the south line, 2.5 left. Canberra 36, South 34.
It was definitely forward. Even comes out of the hands forward.
Yeah.
It was a good metre and a half. But
well, that's the only guideline, how it came out of the hands, and that was well forward.
it was the right play. It was the right setup. And had Canberra absolutely freaking out.
Everything about it, Louis, was right, apart from the execution.
Execution was horrible.
So Canberra wins the scrum. South must hold them out here. It goes left to Chris. He's caught 25 out from the line and 20 in from touch. Plays the ball to Brayley. Goes right to Joe Tarpany. He'll try and settle him, and he goes right up the centre. Tackled 18 out from the line. 2 minutes left in a thriller. Canberra with the footy. 36-34 they lead. Play that comes right. Brayley away to Young. Hudson Young beats one tackle. Now he stands about 7 out from the line, having got past Tola. He'll play the ball to Brayley. Finally on the deck. He plays it now. Jaden Brayley goes left on the open side. Sanders to Smithies up the middle. Collared ball and all by Kepi. 7 away in front of the sticks. Plays the ball to Jaden Brayley. Comes out to the right. Sanders hands it off on the inside to a flat-footed Young. And Hudson Young on retreat. Then a hop, skip and a jump, and he still beat one as he accelerates. Hudson Young still driving forward into Tola and Kolomatangi 5 metres out. Last tackle. Jaden Brayley, dummy half. Goes to the left. Sanders away to Noah Martin. And he's going to be caught 7 out for the goal line changeover. 1 minute and 10 seconds to go. And South need to go 93 metres, Luke Lewis.
Well, they've definitely got the team to do it, South Sydney. It just depends on how they set this up and how they execute. The Canberra Raiders, they've got to scramble here. They've got to work hard in defence.
Whiten plays it. It goes right to Fafita. Play 2. He's tackled 19 out from his own line. Armazella's dummy half. Goes left, Kolomatangi away to Walker. Then through hands. Mitchell cut out to Johnston. He's straight past Stewart. Over halfway. He's over the 40. Kaya Weeks is there. Got the pass back to support Murray. Murray's tackled 24 out. I know. He plays the ball now. How long left? 38 seconds. They've got time. Humphreys goes right for Feeder. Then away to Whiten. Great tackle, Chris. 19 out. Johnston down in back play for South. It's played and it comes to the left. Humphreys away, centre field. Kepi tackle 14 out. 21 seconds to go. Last tackle. It's all or nothing right here, right now. Humphreys. Switcheroo back to the left. Mitchell. Crossfield kick for Johnston. Johnston against Stewart. Johnston got there first. Caught it and then it spilled over the touchline. What a game.
I was watching Ricky Stewart for the last 23 seconds.
Oh, what was he doing?
He couldn't watch. He had his hands in his head in his hands. He couldn't believe what was going on.
I know this is radio, but Louis, look at the players. They are all on the deck. They're exhausted. They're hot. They're bothered. But at least Canberra will cross back around the Nullarbor with 2 points. Canberra 36 have beaten South 34. What a thrilling game of rugby league for the crowd here.
Oh, absolutely. Beautiful game of rugby league. Some beautiful attacking plays out there by both sides. But you're right. The pitches that they were just sitting there then, even the winning team, Canberra Raiders, they don't have the energy to celebrate the win. Everyone out on their feet, all sitting in their spots. But some brilliant attack there from South Sydney in the last 10 minutes of this game. Latrell Mitchell really come into his own that last couple of minutes when they were chasing points, the way they were setting up plays, putting Alex Johnson away down that sideline. But they had to scramble, the Canberra Raiders, and they did that. They did a good job. They turned them away, and they get away with a 2-point win. That's a big win for the Raiders.
Gosh, that was fun. That was so fun to watch. And look, there were periods of the game with lots of mistakes. They seemed to come in clumps.
Yeah.
But what an entertaining game for a curious crowd here at Perth Stadium. We reckon to be 30-odd thousand here. Canberra 36 points, tries to Hudson Young in the 20th minute. Savalia Tamale in the 29th. Kyo Weeks in the 33rd. Hudson Young again in the 39th. Kyo Weeks a 99-metre try in the 65th minute, his second. And Ethan Strange in the 71st. Ethan Sanders 6 from 6. We'll get back to that. One guy with a blinder is Simi Sasangi at right centre. He's down with you, Michael Cariana.
Simi, how would you describe that last 40 minutes? What happened there? It was quite chaotic and frantic, particularly at the end.
Man, I don't know, man. We just had a little lapse of concentration there. We made it a little hard on ourselves, but, you know, the credit to the boys. They really worked hard and back in, but...
Good for the fantasy, though.
Yeah, no, just little glimpses of lapse of concentration, but it's something we can take on and learn from that.
What about Andrew Moore described you as the form centre of the competition at the moment? How much are you loving that extra space out there on that edge?
Nah, it's good, bro. Look, I'm outside Stranger. It makes it a lot easier, and he's a running threat too, and it opens up my run. But I'm just here to do my job, man. I'm just here enjoying it.
What about that try from Kyle Weeks? He went 99 metres there, mate. Like, he's electric. What was going through your mind?
Bro, he's a freak, bro. As soon as he got the ball, break the first tackle, and I was like, yeah, I can start walking now. He's gone, but no, bro. It's credit to his work, bro. He's a freak, man.
Did you bother trying to go with him?
Hell no. As soon as he went, I was like, oh yeah, where's the waters, man? Where's the waters?
Enjoy the win, mate. Get your breath back. What an amazing performance.
No, I appreciate it, bro. Thank you.
That was awesome. Simi Sasangi down there with Michael Carianas. Canberra 36 have beaten South Sydney 34. Magnificent game of footy to watch. South Points tries to Cody Walker in the 25th and 47th minutes. Jamie Humphries in the 50th. Latrell Mitchell in the 56th. Alex Johnston in the 76th. And Jack White in the 77th. Latrell Mitchell 5 goals from 6 attempts. 2 restarts for them. 1 for Canberra. 1 successful challenge for Canberra. Penalties 3-2 to Canberra. I thought Liam Kennedy actually did a great job refereeing this game. If you like games where the whistle stays in the kick and you don't have to worry about what set restarts are for, that was your game. And we saw a dozen tries. At halftime, Canberra led 24-4. Then it was 24-10. Then it was 24-16. Then it was 24-22. And then Canberra scored that Kyo Weeks try, 30-22. Then 36-22 before South went bang-bang to get 36-34. It was finally in favour of Canberra. Jack White did score against his old team, and he's down now with you, Michael Carrion.
Yeah, Jack, it was a pretty crazy game there, end-to-end. How did you guys find a way to get back in it?
Yeah, we had to find a way. Bloody shocking, mate. I think we're still on the park against Bulldogs last week. We got a revving through the week and saying we had to back it up, and we just didn't back it up. We fought hard, and we always do fight hard, but we put ourselves in a silly position to be fighting hard. We're a much better team than that, but you live and you learn, and we go again. But
what was that conversation like at half time? Because you did look off the pace to begin the game.
Wayne just basically said we bloody deserved the position in. It was pretty obvious what the shit we were doing, so we had to knuckle down and chase the game home. We're pretty good at that, but we shouldn't have put ourselves in that position, mate. We'll go rebuild, stick together, play it early.
Kyle Weeks' try, mate, like obviously a freak of a play that you almost got him there late. What was that like?
Yeah, mate, I just didn't, they dragged me half butt, so I didn't know about anybody inside or outside me. Stood up a bit tall, playing like that, very flamboyant, fast on the toe, and he got me on the inside. I had no cover there. He's a game changer when you give him some free space, and we worked on that for the week, and so that's on us. To his credit, mate, freaky little player.
Good luck next week and for the rest of the year.
Good on you, bud.
Jack Whiten as honest as they come, speaking down there with Michael Carianis. Canberra 36 beat South Sydney 24. We'll get one more from the MC down there very, very shortly. What a game of footy. As I said, 6 tries apiece. And hoping we'll speak to Kaya Weeks. MC, I'm still looking at players. Canberra, everyone's still down on their haunches.
Yeah, it's very rare when you see a team win and they're just like out on their feet like that. But yeah, it's a crazy performance.
All right, mate, I'll come back to you in just 1 second down there. In fact, you're just shaking hands with the 99-metre dude. And let's go to you with Kaya Weeks.
Yeah, Andrew Moore just described you as a 99-metre dude. Talk us through that try-scoring moment, mate.
I'm not quite too sure what happened. I just pushed around the ball, and luckily we had some players behind the ball as well to pull some defenders off. But lucky to get there. Legs were heavy, lungs were burning. So yeah, just very happy to get there at the end.
When did you know you were a chance of actually scoring?
Not quite too sure. Not till I put the ball down, to be honest. I was looking at the screen. I wasn't quite too sure what was behind me. I got a little tap on the ankle there. So yeah, I was just happy to get the ball down, to be honest.
So when you're in the clear, you're taking a glance up to see who might be in your space?
Yeah, I had to, because I knew they were pretty close, but I was just looking at the big screen and lucky to get there.
What about this game? Up and down, crazy game, and even in that final moment that you guys still found a way to get the win?
Yeah, well, we sort of let them back into the game in the second half when we knew they got some really great footy players, and we obviously seen that came down to the very last play, so it's credit to them, but also credit to ourselves, when you learn how to start games fast and to finish games fast, just how we start them, so yeah, just very lucky to get the win there.
Amazing win, mate. Amazing try, potentially try of the year already. Congratulations and enjoy the win.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
Wasn't that awesome? Kaya Weeks, and I loved his honesty, Louis. Not sure what happened. That was brilliant.
Looking at the big screen, I love that. He was good to watch in open space. I've got to say, he is brilliant to watch.
Because it's not just speed, Louis, is it?
He's got everything.
Yeah.
He's got speed, he's got balance, he's got footwork, his short little bursts are amazing, but he can hold her over a long period too. So, and I was feeling the way he was running. I was thinking, how's he going to get there? Like, he couldn't have any more energy to run that length and use that speed. And he gets there, and he just says there, he still wasn't too sure if he was going to get there. His lungs were burning.
Yeah. And his legs were heavy. So he still did. But does that indicate a player who just plays off the cuff?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. He plays what's in front of him, has a bit of fun doing it, and he's great at what he does. So, geez, he'd be good to have in your side.
We've got one more, I think, from MC. Then we'll get your ABC Player of the Year points. And Ollie has just joined us in the booth as well here.
Ollie, hello, mate.
So we'll talk to him in a moment too. Ollie Peterson, the drive host of ABC Radio in Perth. And plenty of ground still to come with Cronulla to play South Sydney. All right, back down to the Canberra camp we go with you, Michael Carianis.
Yeah, it's just with Ethan, strange Ethan. What a crazy performance, mate. Have you ever been part of a game like that where momentum changes so quickly?
To be honest, mate, I feel like every game in the NRL these days is like that. You can never be safe. And I think we put the cue in the rack a little bit at the start of that second half, and they started rolling and scoring points. So against a quality side like that, you can't do that.
We've spoken to a couple of your teammates regarding that Kaya Weeks try. What a freak. I'm sure you guys have seen it plenty of times at training, but how would you describe when he's sort of flying past and completing a 99-metre try?
Yeah, every time he catches the ball like that, you always got to be ready to turn and run to support him, because he can literally do anything on a football field. So he's a freak. I don't think anyone's surprised that he did that.
What was it like when you could struggling to wrestle momentum back, but you found a way, and then they surged late? What was the talk like in that final 3 or 4 minutes?
Everyone just do your role. stay calm. You don't need to fly to the defensive line or do silly things. Just work together as a side and pressured him into that pass and got the error.
You got the job done, mate. Enjoy the win.
Thank you very much, brother. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that was a fantastic game. MC just hang around down there for a moment. We'll get your final thoughts shortly. Canberra 36, South 34. Louis, what about your ABC Player of the Year points?
I had to go Hudson Young for 3. I thought he played really well this afternoon. He was just everywhere. So his defence was brilliant. His leadership was great. He scored a couple of great tries. Put himself in really good positions to help his teammates out. So he got my 3. Very close to him in the same side was Sebastian Chris. I thought he was absolutely brilliant, especially in the first half. But every time he carried the ball, he just took a lot of pressure off the Canberra Raiders forward pack. So he got my 2. He was very close to getting 3, though.
So Chris, not Sasangi?
Sammy Sasangi. What did I say? Sebastian Chris. Sorry.
You went for the wrong set.
Yeah, sorry, mate.
Okay.
That was my bad.
I thought that might have been the case.
And then I went Cody Walker for South Sydney for 1. I thought he was South Sydney's best by far, and he looked sharp and dangerous every time he got the ball. And Latrell Mitchell was very close behind.
And obviously, Michael Carianis, a major blow for South, losing Jai Gray after a quarter of an hour with a shoulder injury.
Yeah, it looks like a shoulder dislocation there for Jai Gray, and we just saw the instant impact of that, where they scored a try off a grubber on the last tackle. Hudson Young scored, and then Latrell Mitchell playing fullback throws an error pass, and then on the left-hand side they got burnt a couple of times in that first half as well. So there's 4 tries where Jai Gray, that injury has had a direct consequence. So yeah, he's going to be a huge blow for South Sydney.
I'm told too by Dom in Annandale, Michael, you just got a cheeky walk by cameo on the TV coverage. Definitely dressed for radio. Well, it is. It's hot and sunny, isn't it?
And it is radio.
And it is radio. Exactly right. All right, MC, have a bit of a breather, mate, because we've got Cronulla Sutherland warming up down to our left already, and the Roosters are out there to our right, and the referees are doing their high kicks and about to do their stretching. Todd Smith, the referee, Adam G in the bunker. So those ABC Player of the Year points, 3 to Hudson Young, 2 to Simi Sasangi, and 1 point to South Sydney 5'8", Cody Walker. On the text line, 0467 920 222. Dave says simply go the Sharks. Team 70 points in that game. Is this becoming a thing this year? From Davo, great spectacle for WA fans. It sure was. We had that game last night. I believe it was the one and only time since 1908 that a team has won by the scoreline of 35-31. The Cowboys winning score over the Broncos. Never happened before that score.
Yeah, right.
You would expect it to be rare.
Absolutely.
But, we're talking 118 years. It never happened. Also on the text line, are you calling both games, Andrew? Asked Nat. Yes, we are. Now we've got to earn our keep, having flown all the way here. How good is it with number 6 against... with no 6 against, mate, says Mick in Cairns. Yeah, that game was really free-flowing, that's for sure. 0467 920 222. Andrew, great call. Nearly got there. I bet you were nervous about calling GSB, says Bill. A little bit, but I just loved it. I loved to go down to the wire.
I pressured him into it.
You did. Afternoon, gentlemen. Andrew, $50 says you don't call games that bingo under 10 minutes out for the rest of the season, says Terry. No, you got to have a go, Terry. Great call today, guys. Well done. Rugby League is the winner. Andrew, you almost got done with the GSB lols. Louis would have never let you get away with it, says Tony from Tenterfield. Few go the Raiders, says Andrew in Queensland. Filthy said, wondering if Blake Austin has taken the field, Andrew. It looked like he had for South, Filthy. Luke is a terrible influence on you, Maury. He forced you into that suspect game set bingo, says Luca. 0467 920 222. And Gabo asked if I got one of those wrong before. I have, and it was Canberra, Blake Austin against Canterbury. I think one happened last year too with Penrith, and I've vowed never to call it against Penrith again. 0467 920 222. What a great start. You go west from downtown Perth, from the Maritime Museum, and there's a great cafe with the best tucker on your left, not that far, about 2 k's. A local will know where I mean, I reckon, from Paris. Thank you, Paris. We had a great night here last night. We're staying in central Perth, aren't we? You'd call it central Perth in Murray Street for anyone who knows this city. And Louis, you discovered in a bit of an afternoon stroll after we got here that, and they do it every Friday night in the nearby mall, it's about, 500-metre walk away, and there were all these food trucks, 25 food trucks. It was packed. You could just go and pick out what you wanted to eat.
You know what I loved about it most? It was absolutely packed, like you said, but the smell of the barbecue, as soon as you walk down that little part of the mall, it was just a really cool vibe, and the food was brilliant.
Fantastic.
So it was really good.
And when we're here for that long State of Origin day on the Sunday, and we flew in early and we called New Zealand Tonga on the Saturday, there was no other footy on, and we found where we were staying by chance all these laneways with unbelievable restaurants and bars.
And I don't think we're far away from it. I can't find it. All those laneways and all the beautiful restaurants that look.
Well, we've got to find somewhere to eat tonight, Louis. Why did Manly let Weeks go? Asked Daz from Gosford. It's a great question. Watching him again today. Thought it'd be a while before we had another Halasima, but went close today, Andrew. Put that player on the blue side. My thought says Sharky. Which one?
Weeks.
Kaya Weeks. Outstanding.
He's got X factor, doesn't he?
You can keep the text coming 0467 920 222. Now, around the grounds, we've got Jersey flag today. St George Illawarra 28 defeated Manly Warringah 26. Cronulla Sutherland over the Roosters by 52 points to 12. And full-time, West Tigers defeated Newcastle 38-22. Last score we got in the Jersey flag was half-time Melbourne 26, leading the Warriors 24. New South Wales Cup. What about this game at Henson Park? Newtown has beaten the Roosters 33 points to 32. Queensland Cup, an 18-all draw between Northern Pride and Mackay. There are tight games everywhere. Tweed Seagulls have beaten South Logan easily enough, 36-12. Ipswich has scraped past Burleigh, 18-16. And in the first half, there's no score between Townsville and Wynnum Manly. In the AFL today, Brisbane Lions over North Melbourne, 92-66. Essendon has corrected a 17-game losing streak to shock Melbourne in Adelaide, 113-68. While currently the Swans lead Gold Coast easily, 43-14 as the gather round continues. Later tonight it's Hawthorn against the Western Bulldogs. In Super Rugby, Waikato Chiefs over Moana Pacifica 62-17. Western Force and Fiji and Drua, won by Fiji and Drua 24-22. About to get underway. New Zealand battle between Wellington Hurricanes and the Auckland Blues, and the Queensland Reds are on tonight at home against the Canterbury Crusaders. A-League men full-time, a 2-all draw played between Auckland and Melbourne Victory. Well, in the first half there's no score between Newcastle and Adelaide United. And later on, Western Sydney Wanderers take on Sydney FC. The derby game there as well. If you missed out with our chat with Perth Bears coach Mal Meninga, you can catch up in the ABC NRL Daily podcast feed. That should be out sometime this hour. Just search for ABC NRL Daily whenever you get your podcast, or find it any time on ABC Listen. And it was great chatting to Mal, wasn't it, Louis? I mean, he's obviously, we know him to be a great bloke. He's a great rugby league man. He's an immortal. He did incredible things coaching Queensland and attracting interest, not just with the public, but with players to represent the Kangaroos again. And it seems as if he is really excited about Perth Bears, because you keep hearing stories, no way he'll get to the starting line, he won't like the travel. He seems pumped.
No, he does. He's really looking forward to doing it. I think he loves the part about setting up winning cultures, and he's big on doing that. He really enjoys helping people enjoy what they do. So I think the key to doing that, and listening to him speak and see how passionate it was, and see the passion in his face, is about coming and getting the rugby league into a good spot, setting up a new franchise and getting them into the right spot, and creating a culture that the club continues to follow for a long time. So setting up a legacy for himself. So I like listening to Mal. I love talking to him, and I love the passion that he's got for our game.
Yeah, he didn't seem overwhelmed, did he? He's been travelling to and from Canberra. He's here for a week on this occasion, and they've signed, 17 players so far. So they've still got a bit of work to do. They haven't really got too much star quality from players they've signed, but that might be deliberate as well.
I think he said you've got 18 players. They've got to have 24 before they start the season. Then they've got to have 28 and before the season kicks off. And then from there, it continues to grow. But I think they're going to do a good job. I like what he's doing with the junior base as well. He's trying to set up a pathway system for young juniors coming through that want to play. play for the Perth Bears. So in good hands with someone who's very successful.
Yeah, indeed. So, like I say, that will be on the ABC NRL Daily podcast feed very, very shortly, or on ABC Listen as well. Gee, we've got another game to come. This could be beauty as well, Louis. Cronulla Sutherland out there and the Sydney Roosters, and all the players are out there now warming up. But what a start to the day for this crowd of 30-odd thousand here at Perth Stadium. You really couldn't ask for better. Yes, there were some mistakes, but some great tries were scored. A thrilling finish and 12 tries in all.
Well, really, there's only a couple of little periods, like a little 5-minute period here and there from both sides that, where they weren't playing their best football. But their attack was brilliant. Their defence was good. And to see people in open space the way that we've seen them this afternoon with the game on the line at the end, it was an awesome game to call. So fingers crossed we get another type of game like that with the Sharks and the Roosters coming up in what have we got? 20 minutes.
20 minutes. You know what I was thinking towards the end of the game as well? That wonderful family we met who live in Karratha, working in the mines, and they're here today.
Yeah,
they all follow the different teams, all of them represented today. And what a great start for a family like that who've travelled so far.
But there is one upset and one happy at the moment.
They knew that was coming, and that will be the case for the next game as well. You're with Luke Lewis, Michael Carianis, I'm Andrew Moore here on NRL Saturday on ABC Sport. And coming up, we're going to continue our look into what may be facing the Perth Bears in 2027.
Throws it, goals it. Get your footy fix live and ad-free with ABC Listen. AFL, NRL, men's and women's. This season, don't let life get in the way of the footy. Hear it on ABC Listen. Rugby League is on your radio. NRL Saturday on ABC Sport. ABC Sport Digital Radio. And ABC Listen.
Well, in the pre-game show, we spoke to new Perth Bears coach Mal Meninga, and there are certainly challenges for the team coming into the comp next year. What sort of a breakthrough can they have through media outlets? No one better to ask than ABC Perth Drive Time host Ollie Peterson, who's a self-acclaimed rugby league nufty. Ollie, great to see you, mate. How are you going?
Good to see you, Andrew. Really, really good. Look how spectacular it is here today at Optus Stadium. Just perfect rugby league weather.
Yeah, we've had some poor weather here for State of Origins in the past, but you put on a show today. Not a cloud to be seen. The outfield, the surface looks fantastic. What is the best sport here? Because they've got Test cricket here for a while now. The AFL obviously has a team here with the Eagles and Dockers, and every now and then we get a leaguer.
Yeah, we do. It's pretty good for everything, to be blunt. But obviously it's a footy field, my footy, AFL fields. And when you do get rectangular sports, obviously like league and union plays here, you're not still too far away. It's not as though you're sitting at the SCG or the MCG. You do feel a little closer with this cauldron. And I think for our listeners right around Australia, this is what they're going to be basing the Olympic Stadium on in Brisbane as well. So you get a bit of a feel, and it does work for rectangular sports, particularly for an Origin when it's, a full house. It's spectacular.
For all of that is not where the Perth Bears will be playing. They're not going to be here. No. They'll be at Perth Oval, and it's been around for a long, long time. That is a really good place for rectangular sports. Might need a touch-up or two. What Nick, will that be in for next year?
It's good. Look, it's a really good field, and I would rate it up there as being one of the, again, better rectangular fields because it seats about 20, 25,000, and again, you're close to the action. As you mentioned, though, Maury, the stadium still needs somewhat of an upgrade, particularly in the corporate areas, and that is important for the commercial success of the Perth Bears, because if you're going to be selling sponsorship packages and you're looking to try and entice advertisers, you need to be able to wine and dine them properly, and it really needs to come into the 21st century.
How far away is that, Ollie, to having the Perth Stadium ready for that?
So it's still a little way off, Luke. It was rumoured to be part of the announcement here with the Bears, but to be blunt about it, not everybody here in Perth is on the same page when it comes to state government investment in the Perth Bears. And I think the stadium upgrades at Perth Oval have been put on the back burner for a little while, but it should happen because you've got good tenants, the Force, the Glory, and obviously the Perth Bears will be the main tenant from 2027.
And what about the training facilities?
So they will train next to the Wacker ground, and it's a beautiful location because as you're going across the causeway into the Perth CBD, you're going to see this magnificent field that is being established as we speak. If you look at the grass now, it looks as immaculate as it does here at Perth Stadium. They will use the old facilities which the WA cricketers have been using because they've just upgraded the Wacker grounds and they've moved to the other side. So for the next couple of years, they will be in the old Wacker grounds training facilities for the players. It's just a really short walk over the road to the training ground. And there are currently purpose-built facilities being constructed in Malaga, which is about 40 minutes outside of the Perth CBD in the eastern suburbs. So they're going to have some of the best facilities of any club in Australia.
So the role of the media fascinates me over here, Ollie, because not everyone, as you say, is like you and loves rugby league and comes from different parts. How are they going to get traction in the media, not just with radio but with TV? And obviously there's been some conspiring against the Perth Bears in one of the newspapers in particular and one of the TV networks in particular. Do you think they will get traction, or is that going to be a real battle?
I think having Mal Meninga as the head coach is a game changer for a rugby league market like Perth. It's a challenger market, let's be blunt about it. But if Mal Meninga walks down the main street of the Perth CBD, Hay Street Mall, everybody knows who Mal Meninga is. So the more that Mal does, I believe the more that people will come on board. I don't think they're going to have any issue filling Perth Stadium, or Perth Oval I should say, for their home games, for at least the first few. But obviously the team has to win. In terms of media coverage, I think we're in a really interesting situation, and you both know this better than anybody, because the broadcast rights are up for negotiation. Obviously, if certain media networks are able to land a particular night of football coverage on their television screens, I think that's going to change rapidly. But at the moment, certainly, the Bears are up against it. Make no mistake of this, it is an AFL town 1, 2 and 3, and everything else finishes 10th and 11th.
Well, it's funny you say that, because last night we were trying to find a game where we could go down and watch and maybe have a feed, and it was very hard to do. So is there a plan behind that here in Perth to make sure that there is more games on live in certain pubs and areas where people can actually go and have a feed and sit down and start enjoying our game?
There is, and look, there are a few pubs around that have certainly right on board with rugby league, and this might surprise a lot of people, but you only have to go back about 10 years ago. Origin wasn't even live on television in Perth.
That's right.
Right, there are a few pubs, and I knew where they were, where they'd take a satellite feed of the Northern Territory off in Parja to be able to show it in a pub in Perth. So that's how quickly the game's developed. I think through the COVID years, as the game was sped up with the 6 again rule, the casual sports fan here in Western Australia all of a sudden went, hold on a minute, rugby league's really good. Like, how fast is it? How good is it? Full credit here to, obviously, the National Rugby League to bring Origin back on a number of occasions, and to the Rabbitohs for that matter, because they've been bringing games over here for 15 years. And they've managed to secure well over 1,000 West Australian fans. It doesn't sound like much, but hey, the grassroots are there. So the more and more it's played, the more and more obviously it's talked about. There are opportunities, obviously, and we're a hungry beast, aren't we, in the media? We'll hopefully we'll be talking about it.
Yeah, you forget how long games have been coming to Perth, because Canberra, who we've just called against South Sydney, coming into today, they'd won 5 out of 5, but hadn't played here since 1997. So that's how far back it goes. I mean, obviously the Western Reds were here in the mid-90s, but that's how far back rugby league goes playing here. The junior numbers have always been very, very good in WA. But the time slot is the one that's so interesting, Ollie, because for years and years, while we kept hearing about a Perth-based team in the NRL, because it's ideal for TV. What is the ideal time to attract people, apart from viewers on telly, to the ground?
So we're obviously a market where we're used to turning up on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon or early evening anyway, because of television rights, regardless of what sport it is. So if you can nail that 5 o'clock, 5:30 local time slot on a Saturday, I think that is what West Australians will get behind. And it's an advantage we have as well. Like, if you look at the Big Bash success here in Western Australia and the Perth Scorchers, it's because the games start at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm the father of a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old. We don't miss a Big Bash match. But if it's starting at 7 o'clock as it does in Sydney or Melbourne, it's a bit too late to take the kids because they've got to go to bed.
Yeah.
So there's huge advantages to get the kids involved. And I think we saw yesterday...
And that's always such a quick process too, isn't
it? I'll tell you what, there's plenty of...
Well, that's the key though, Ollie.
Absolutely it is.
They're getting the kids involved and then watching our game from a young age, growing up with it here in Perth. That's what grows the crowd. At the moment, it's not trying to convert the older guys. So they're in their way, and the older and the mothers. But getting these young kids to games on a Saturday, that's what brings the love and the passion behind the jersey.
100%. And I think that there are enough kids. You saw them here yesterday actually with the mascot race. Hundreds and hundreds of kids turned up, and I think if you see the Perth Bear, I don't know if he's grizzly enough to be perfectly blunt, but he's a friendly bear, so maybe that's what's going to entice the kids.
He needs Billy Mordick. Just have a few words. That'll fix it. All right, Ollie, before we let you go, you are a fanatical St George Illawarra supporter for your sins.
Andrew, please.
Now, they've lost 10 in a row. What's doing? Because you don't just say you follow them, you actually follow them, and you travel far to watch them play.
I do, Andrew.
Do you regret that at the moment?
I do and I don't. I just wonder, in the scheme of what has happened to the football club, the likes of Ben Hunt and Zach Lomax being let go, obviously Valentine Holmes comes in, Clint Gutherson comes in, Damien Cook comes in at the wrong ends of their career, and we just seem to be going backwards. Somebody like Tyrell Sloan, even last night, I thought he was great. I thought he was really good. That's what's been missing. There's no pace.
The slowest team I've ever seen.
It's just so hard to watch at the moment, Maury, but I will keep the faith with the Red V, and I will... Does it pass the pub test to have two teams? Because I'm like 100% getting on.
Well, I've got
the
two
Bears.
teams. That's right. Teams, so.
You do, but you also had two debuts. You believe
you've started us.
I know. Ollie, we'll let you go, mate. Great to see you here at Perth Stadium as we look forward to this second game between the Roosters and Cronulla Sutherland, and hopefully we'll see and hear you a lot next year.
Indeed, anytime. Love the rugby league. Love to help you here on ABC Sport on Grandstand. It is going to be fantastic, and the Bears are going to be very, very successful.
Yeah, well, let's hope so. Thanks, Ollie. Ollie Peterson, drive time host at ABC local radio in Perth. And while we're talking to Ollie, I actually saw the Perth Bear mascot, and he does look very friendly. That may have to change. 0467 920 222. If you would like to send us a text right through the day for the next, what time is it local time? 5:20 in the east, 20 past 3 here at Perth Stadium. And we're 10 minutes away from the second game. Cronulla Sutherland and the Sydney Roosters. And we've had Canberra 36 holding on to beat South Sydney 34. We'll get to some of your texts in a moment. Luke Lewis, Michael Carianis. I'm Andrew Moore. Still beautiful conditions, 30 degrees at the moment. Jersey flag. West Tigers 38 by Newcastle 22. In the New South Wales Cup, mentioned Newtown 33 defeated the Roosters 32. Melbourne 20 leading the Warriors 0. Queensland Cup 18 all between Northern Pride and Mackay. Tweed Seagulls 36 defeated South Logan 12. Ipswich defeated Burleigh 18-16, and currently in the first half, no score between Townsville and Wynnum Manly. North Devils 4 lead Central Queensland 0. No score between Sunshine Coast and the Dolphins. AFL second quarter, Sydney Swans leading Gold Coast 51-32. Super Rugby Wellington 7 leading Auckland 0. A-League men a 2-all draw between Auckland and Melbourne Victory. Currently no score between Newcastle Jets and Adelaide United. Now, this before we get to text, your early thoughts on this game upcoming, Louis, between Cronulla and the Sydney Roosters. They've won 3 of their last 4 against the Roosters, the Sharky, and they've won 4 in a row here in Perth.
Yeah, they like to play here, the Sharks. They like to come and get the win, but it's going to be a tough one this afternoon. But they always step up against the Roosters. I don't know what it is. It could be a Craig Fitzgibbon thing. I'm not too sure, but they do like playing against the Roosters. So it should be a good afternoon for the Sharks. Fingers crossed. But I do reckon it's going to be a lot closer than everyone's expecting. And I just realised that the Roosters are actually going in favourites here today. Right. The Sharks are going in as underdogs. So I find that interesting. I thought the Sharks have been a little bit better than the Roosters so far this year.
What to say, Sharks 8th, Roosters 12th. MC's down there on the touchline. Michael, this has got all the trimmings of what should be another really good game.
Yeah, it should. As we spoke about pre-game of the first game, there's 4 high-quality sides here today, and we saw an entertaining game. Wasn't a traditional game in the first game, but I think we'll probably see a little bit more grit, I guess, and a bit more of a dour contest to begin this one between the Roosters and the Sharks. But yeah, again, the conditions are great. The surface has held up exceptionally well from the first game. You couldn't even know that there was a game already played on here, so it should set up another gripping contest.
Last year, in the elimination final, Cronulla beat the Roosters 20 points to 10 at Shark Park. They also met in round 20 last year, and Cronulla won that 31-18. While in 2025 they played only once. The Roosters won that 42-16, and prior to that, 2024 in round 11, Cronulla won 38-30. That was Magic Round, Louis. We called that game, and Cronulla were all over them. That 8-point margin doesn't quite do justice. to how dominant the Sharkies were that day. On the text line, 0467 920 222, Teddy Masterclass incoming. Well, he's been great again to start this year, James Tedesco. Andrew and team, great call. You'll love Perth and what it's got to offer. Enjoy. It is a beautiful city, there's no doubt. Fellas, love the call. Shout out to Buck and Trish. Go the Chooks. That's from Ryan and Ash at Streaky Bay. It is a beautiful city, Lou, isn't it? We were here last year for State of Origin, but the Origin, I think we flew in on game day and flew out early the next morning, so you don't get much of a chance to walk around. I guess the time we did was 3 years earlier when we were here on the Friday for the Sunday Origin and flew out on the Monday, and it's lovely, especially at night time.
Yeah, absolutely. And you go down there by the water there on the wharves. It's got some beautiful hotels, great restaurants, nice little cafes. But walking through the city, all those little back streets is really nice. There's some brilliant little restaurants that have got it's like you're in a different country when you're going through those sort of city sort of back street areas. Really cool.
And the laneways are
yeah. So looking forward to going for a little stroll tonight, get a nice little feed somewhere, and watch the game after this as well.
And we were having breakfast this morning, minding our own business, and going for a walk, and he looked larger than life. Dino Mezzatesta, the Cronulla Sharks CEO. He looked like he was big on life. Big Dino.
He loves it, doesn't he?
He does. So it was good to see him today, but it'll be all business now for the Sharkies as they come into this game. Michael, what are you looking at?
I actually just ran into Dino before. I just spoke to him very briefly. He's excited. He wants his boys to get up for him.
It's going to be a hard challenge, there's no doubt. Cronulla against Sydney Roosters, referee Todd Smith with Adam G in the bunker. But I think South and Canberra fly back tonight. They're out of here.
Oh, really? So they're just straight out of here now?
I think so, yeah. I know quite a few people who are on the red eye tonight. I've done the red eye a few times, Louis. It's not fun.
No, I don't want to do that. I'll go wake up here tomorrow, do the show tomorrow here.
Yes.
That'd be nice to do.
Yes, we're going to be doing the pre-game show, the three of us from the ABC studios here in Perth, between midday and 2. We've got to remember, Lou, it's 10 a.m. Perth time, and then fly home tomorrow afternoon. NRL Monday is back on this coming Monday, and Lou, remember you agreed to join me for the show?
Oh, did I?
You gave an on-air commitment.
Anything for you.
Do you remember?
Anything for you.
I will text you. We got to play there to remind you. So that'll come up on Monday night. We'll take a look at the weekend's action between 6:30 and 7:30. We'll have a special guest. We'll find out who Louis is buying and selling, all that sort of stuff, and look ahead to round 7. And what a game tomorrow too. The feature match, really, Campbelltown Stadium. Michael Carianis, West Tigers taking on Newcastle. Both teams in tremendous form.
Yeah, it's one of those games that you're not at and you wish you could be there because the atmosphere is going to be awesome. Two sides that have already excelled this season and sit inside the top 4, so you don't know what to expect come tomorrow, but yeah, it's one of those games where, I wish I was on the sideline for that one.
Well, the 2 o'clock game tomorrow, Parramatta and the Gold Coast. And Louis, even without a number of players through injury, you'd expect the Eels too good at home?
Well, you'd think so, but I don't really